Ready?
And a 1.
A 2.
A 1, 2, 3, 4. It's Hellstorm Wargaming.
Yeah, there was a jingle. Hello everyone and welcome back to Hellstorm Wargaming, and if this has gone well, welcome to the very first video in the new studio.
And more specifically, on this occasion, we are doing something from what we're dubbing CODEX Corner.
CODEX Corner, because we do have a corner, but we spent all the budget on this bit, so we're using this bit for now.
We wanted to show this snazzy bit off, didn't we?
Yeah, but we're doing a Codex review of the brand new faction to 40k, kinda. It's more than 2 units this time, it's 3.
It's not just noise marines.
I kind of spoiled it with the Slaanesh pillow, but there we go. We've got the brand new Emperor's Children Codex, and we've got the Emperor's Children Champions of Slaanesh box, very kindly sent to us by Games Workshop, so thank you to Games Workshop for providing a preview copy to have a look at. And yeah, it should be exciting. This is like a new segment that we're going to try. We're going to try doing proper Codex reviews where we sit down, rather than just me. We have my good friend Tom. Hi, Tom.
I'm basically the handsome helper.
Yeah. You're the feeder.
Padawan learner.
I don't know why I said
He's going to
that.
sit there and feed. I
was like, you feed me stuff and then I just roll off it.
Just like the idea of like between each unit, I'm just giving you a donut.
That's why I'm the size I am. But yeah, so we're going to be going through the brand new Codex. We're going to be talking about all the things that are in here, including the new units that are available, as well as the new detachments, which there are 6 of, we should say, which is very cool.
Sorry, but 6 very good thematic detachments.
You know what?
So
Jokes aside, there's 6 in this book, but I don't think one of them stands out as really bad, which is actually really cool.
Yeah, I think they lean into proper play styles that people might want to play. Do you know what I mean? So I'm excited to get into that. Also excited to discuss some combos. I think that's the thing that jumps out in this codex is you start looking at units in these detachments and you can see where properly good players will find the synergies that can really cause some like shake up in the meta. I think it'll look really cool.
Yeah, I'm excited to see how it's going to be. But we do have the headlines. The headlines are
breaking news.
Breaking news. Demons of Slaanesh are in this book.
Yes.
However, there's a caveat. Okay.
Oh, not a but. I hate
buts. Well, you're gonna hate this Codex tonight. I personally, now this is all conjecture, no facts behind this. I don't think this will be replacing the Codex demons. No. You know, Codex Chaos demons, because there are a few demon data sheets in this detachment, including, and starting with, there is Shalaxia Hellbane, the Keeper of Secrets, Demonettes, Fiends, and Seekers.
Yeah.
They are the only demons in this book. So
stuff missing, isn't there?
There's a lot missing, and I don't personally think that's because it's going to Legends. Now, I could be wrong, clip it. But like, there is a detachment in this book that allows you to use 1,000 points of Demons of Slaanesh instead of 500 points that you normally use using allies. And the way that detachment works, it synergizes the army together rather than it being an Emperor's Children army with 500 points of Slaanesh demons. It's up to 1,000 of each, up to 1,000 of Chaos demons with your Emperor's Children, and they synergize really well. They're actually like, they function as one army rather than being like an allied detachment. And you can't run pure demons out of this book. I don't think they're going to new a faction to just one detachment that's an ally. I don't think they're going to get rid of Chaos Demons as a separate faction.
Yeah. Doesn't mean they know what they're doing with Chaos Demons yet. The jury's still out on that one.
No.
But there's quite a bit that's left in the ether, isn't there, at the moment,
I can see a trend of every Chaos Legion that's not the original one, Chaos God. I think that we'll see like a detachment where you can have up to 1,000 points of demons and it synergizes with the other army, like say Nurgle demons with Death Guard. But I don't think they're going to get rid of the Chaos Demons book. So I think everybody was wrong and I was right. Because that's what I said.
Right, so within 10 minutes of the video, Mike just had to get in, guys, I'm right, okay.
But also, I kind of started thinking it as well. Because obviously, like the Grotmus detachments, where it's all the separate demons, they've all got, it's this artwork. Yeah. That literally on the back of the Codex. So there's the first headline. Anyway, the second headline, not all of the Chaos Space Marine units are in this Codex.
No, which I think we expected to lose some, but some will be a big surprise that they aren't in here.
Because I've just said that about Shalaxia and the Keeper of Secrets. Well, what is in this book is the Sorcerer, a Demon Prince, either version, Chaos Spawns, Terminators, Land Raider, Rhino, Helldrake, and Mauler Fiend. There's no Forge Fiend.
Forge Fiend.
So maybe I'm wrong about Shalaxia being in here. I don't know. Something to think about. You know what I mean? I just said,
he's backtracking already. It's like, oh, yeah.
I'm perfect. Literally, I say one thing and then I backtrack straight away.
Yeah,
I'm never wrong because I'm always contradicting myself.
Your ego gets bigger and bigger by the day, mate. I'll tell you that.
No, I'm in a fancy chair in a new studio. What do you expect?
Yeah, we are sat in a power pose.
I made this. There's no Sonic Dread.
I think that's one of those that maybe before the end of the edition or the start, and you'd hope there's a kit coming for that. You really would. An upgrade.
It's going to be Wave 2, right? Yeah. Because what we should say is this book is very cool. Mm-hmm. Lots of very cool units, but it's very small. Yes. It's probably the smallest codex. Yeah. I think it's packed out because of the demons in here. Yeah. I think without that,
it's Marines and...
It's like 3 units of Marines and then a couple of tanks, a couple of transports. You've heard a World Eater player complain about how they don't have a lot of units in the Wave 2. By playing this army now, you're in the same position. Yeah. But also, I've got a video coming out with these, and they're going to take a long time to paint, so maybe it's not so bad. Yeah. By the time you get your army finished, then maybe Wave 2 will come out. 2,000
points of what's in this book will honestly take you the amount of time it takes until all the other stuff comes out. So just enjoy it. Enjoy the process, okay? Yeah.
Because there is another 2 videos coming out with this box, which is cool. I've been building, showing you that there's actually more models in this box than Games Workshop told everybody. And then I'm doing a video about painting it, which is cool. Yes. So make sure you keep an eye out for them. So maybe, if you want to, you could subscribe if you haven't already. There's a little thing and it just lit because I have to subscribe. Okay, press that button.
Here.
Final headline.
You only said 2 headlines. Don't lie to me like this.
So, with the previous 2 codexes that we had this year with the Astra Militarum and Eldari, Games Workshop were very kind to send us a preview of the FAQ, as well as the points that will be available in the match play document when it's published.
Yep.
I've contacted them about this and I haven't received one and I haven't received anything back. So I don't know if it's because I haven't been sent it or it's because there isn't one yet. So just take that. When we're talking about points.
They could be accurate. Yeah. They might not be accurate.
That's a very long intro. You ready to talk about the army? The way we're going to break this book down, because it's a new codex, is we're actually going to look at the army rule, then units first. Yep. And then we're going to go back to the detachments because obviously there's so much new stuff in here that you don't have anything to talk when we talk about the attachments. But, that's really cool in a unit that you don't know what does. So, Tom?
Yes.
I think we're ready to talk about the army rules.
Cool. Should we kick off with what is known as thrill seekers? Okay.
I'm seeking some thrills.
So most of this has been previewed. If your army faction is Emperor's Children, this unit is eligible to shoot and declare a charge in a turn in which it advanced or fell back. Okay, that's
very, very strong.
Very strong.
Before the caveats, very good ability. Army-wide advance and
charge.
As an army rule. That's not a detachment, so you get your detachment on top. That is what the army functions. So there are 2 caveats with this. That you can't target a unit for the charge or shooting that you were engaged with at the start of the turn. Yep. So if you fall back from a unit, you can't recharge into it and you can't shoot into that unit because it says you can't target a unit that was with engagement range at the start of the turn. So it allows you to fall back and charge, and it allows you to fall back and shoot, which is cool. So you can fall back, shoot and charge, which is obviously an insanely good ability, but you can't bully the same unit, which I think is like a really good caveat for such a strong rule.
Yeah.
So you can't like send in a Death Star and just keep recharging the same thing.
And locking them there.
Yeah.
It's a bit like hit and run vibes, isn't it? You're going in, but you can't go into the same unit. You sort of have to tap them, knock a few out, and then move on.
Yeah, because essentially it feels like they're kind of like hitting something, they just jump into the next unit and just like, kind of like quite thematically, like slaughtering through that section.
Like a weird unit where they sort of like give each other like a backslap. They're like, you go into that one that I've just been into, I'll go into the one that's next to each other, and you can sort of have like crossover of like they can cross charge into each other's, like, you know what I mean? It's quite cool like that, isn't it? So
then the second caveat is it cannot target a unit that was the target of another unit's charge or attack this phase. So you can't multi-charge back into the same unit as well. Yeah. So it's basically you can fall back and shoot and recharge a different unit. Essentially, that's what those caveats say. A different unit to anything else that's doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, again, really, really strong ability. The caveats is kind of like a nice way to like almost instantly nerf it, but it's still very strong.
I think it's to stop, let's say, for example, an enemy unit is at the front line. It's to stop all of the Emperor's Children's units piling into that to get as far up the board as they can. You sort of have to pick and choose one to go in there, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you're kind of like almost dancing across the army rather than just like focusing on one side and working your way across. Yeah, you're bouncing across new units, which is a very, very, very cool thematic a bit. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, well, I'm bored with you now. I'm moving on, which I think is quite cool. Yeah. So
it plays into the whole feel of this army, which you're going to get into speed. Like the army is fast. It's going to be.
I wrote down a note which is cringe, but it's all choppy, no poppy, because they're not popping any bullets because it's all combat. Did you like that?
I don't think that's going to catch
poppy. All choppy, no poppy. That's what I call it. What we should say is obviously there's a bit that mentions Pact of Excess. This only affects Emperor's Children's unit. It doesn't affect Chaos Demons. It doesn't affect the Slaanesh Demons because they have a separate keyword called Legions of Excess, and it says, unless you say so, you can't have a Legion of Excess as your army faction, which is basically says you can't have a demon army.
Yep.
So that's why I think the demons, another reason I think the demons aren't going to get wrote out of the game is because of this as well. So yeah, so your army, your demons can't advance and charge.
No.
But the Emperor's Children units can.
Yes.
So yeah.
Nice.
That's, I think, a good way to talk about the army rules. So let's talk about the units that it's going to affect. Units, as I said, slightly different order, but how could we not start with the new Demon Primarch? It's Fulgrim, baby.
Oh, he's sexy. I mean, it's the name of the codex, but he is sexy, right?
He's a beast. Yeah, yes, he looks so cool. I love the angry face. I love the smiley face. Is hilarious.
It is, yeah.
But
what face are you going for when you put him together?
Maybe the shit one.
They're really, yeah, for the
just to annoy people.
Yeah.
So let me tell you about Fulgrim. He's a Demon Primarch. He's going to come with some very similar stats that you're used to, but some of them are better than others.
Yes.
So
he is the fastest Primarch with movement 16. He's pretty much got the similar profiles as the rest of them. Toughness 11, 2 up, 4 up, 16 wounds, and he is 385 points in the book. We don't know if that's going to change. We've said that, but it does currently put him as the second cheapest Primarch. Mortarion. Yeah. Then it goes Fulgrim. Then it goes Angron, and then Magnus. So he's in a good spot at 385.
I think 3, even if it's settled out at 385, that's still pretty decent, to be honest, for what he does. Because what does he do? He poisons you. You know, thematically, Poison Golem in Once Upon a Time. I've read the lore. Yeah. Probably. So he has demonic poisons in your shooting phase and the fight phase. After this model is finished making its attacks, let one of your unit hit by one or more of those attacks. Until the end of the battle, that unit is poisoned. At the start of each player's command phase, which is obviously twice a turn, or twice a battle round or whatever, roll 1d6 for each poisoned enemy unit on the battlefield. On a 4 plus enemy unit suffers D3 more wounds. That's such a cool ability.
Cool. Picture the scene, okay? He hits a unit with his lash that he's not intending on charging, yeah? And he effectively hits them, he just hits, doesn't do anything, moves on, charges another one. He can effectively twice a turn be poisoning multiple units, and that's really powerful,
and he has deep strike.
Yeah.
You know, he obviously explodes at deadly demise, but like he could deep strike, shoot something with his whip, and then charge something more important, and protect. If he doesn't kill them, which is likely, poison them both.
Yes.
You know, maybe not kill him in shooting, but like his shooting isn't bad. Prolific lash, sustain 1, which is great. Yep. 12 in, 6 attacks, 2 strength 8, minus 2/2.
Yes.
Great profile. Kills Marines on 2s.
1,000,000%. And also, by the end of the game, anything that was going to be left, he's taking poison twice a turn, a battle round, until the end. There's going to be nothing left.
And it doesn't disappear.
No.
There's currently, as far as I'm aware, no way to get rid of it.
There's no anti-venom yet.
There's no anti-venom.
What's his name?
They're going to borrow a bit off his tail. Here, like, come here, give his little vial.
Belisarius calls like, please give me the anti-poison. I need to make it.
For the rest of the game, fair enough, that unit's probably dead.
Yes.
But whilst that unit is alive, every command phase, 4 it takes mortal wounds.
That's really
very
cool.
Cheeky. Very cheeky.
Also have to say, obviously he comes with Thrill Seekers, which means, yes, he is advancing and charging.
Yeah.
So the threat range of Fulgrim, 16 inches, with advance, with charge, and there's ways to manipulate that. He is getting into your lines. There's no stopping him. Simple as that. I think he's potentially the fastest unit in 40k.
Yeah, probably, yeah. There's not many units that guarantee a 22-inch move.
No.
Now, obviously, he's a monster. He can fly over units. He can't fly over terrain.
Yes.
But still pretty spicy.
Yeah.
And then when he does make it, Tom, Demonic Blades and the Serpentine Tail. And he fights with both because the tail is extra attacks, which is cool. So Demonic Blades both have sustained. You have the Strike, which is the big one.
Yep.
6 attacks, hits on 2, strength 14, minus 3, d6 plus 1. Very nice profile. Big anti-monster, big anti-tank killer. And then he can do a sweep if he needs to. It's the same profile as his whips, just more attacks. It's 12 attacks, 2s, 8/2/2.
Yes.
So if he goes into a unit, like infantry unit, he just like has 12 attacks, it's strength 8 minus 2/2, having a great time. Just murders most units, which is great. Anything that's like 3 wounds, he's just murdering those. And then obviously if he's going against something big, D6 plus 1 damage. Very cool.
Really good. Well, you're seeing a lot of this strike and sweep stuff. It's really good. It's really effective. It gives you the choice to do what you want onto what you target.
The only downside is the strength 14. I think that's probably a little low compared to some things. But obviously, like, he's not there to be the guy who's like smashing things. He's more finesse, you know what I mean? So he can go for loads of attacks which are high strength, high damage, or he can go for a smaller amount of attacks, high AP, which is cool.
Yeah. He also has Demon Primarch of Slaanesh, which is like effectively you get to choose
his Primarch aura,
Yes,
right?
his
Because they all
Primarch
have
aura,
them.
yeah.
He doesn't get 2 like G-Man.
No, he doesn't. But I really like these, and I think the thing that, and you have to read it 2 or 3 times to really understand the power of this. And you pointed this out to me. It's at the start of your opponent's command phase is when you choose the aura effect, effectively, that Fulgrim has. Okay,
Yeah, because these 3 abilities are all actually just like really aggressively. It sounds dumb to say out loud. Aggressively defensive.
I knew. Yeah, I totally get it. Yeah.
So like he doesn't. If you go first and you advance and charge him or whatever, he doesn't have one of his auras. But then all of his auras, as Tom's about to tell us, are like more defensively, but in a horrific way.
Yeah. So you pick one of these. Beguiling Form. It's effectively -1 to hit, to shooting and combat.
I didn't know how to pronounce that word. That's why I got you to read it.
My guy, Beguiling Form, -1 to hit, shooting and combat. Demonic Speed. Fights first.
Yeah, so that's what I mean about aggressively defensive.
Yeah.
Because then you charge in, whatever. It doesn't have to be turn 1, obviously, but like you charge in, you're in there, and people are like, "Oh, I've got to kill Fulgrim. I've not managed to kill him in shooting because he's got 4 up in 1. I'll charge him," and they go, "I've got to fight first."
Yeah,
unlucky.
And then the last one, which you probably again want me to pronounce, is Enthralling Hypnosis.
I could do that one.
And it's a 6-inch aura of trapping people in combat, as in making them take a leadership test to see if they can fall out. If not, they're still in combat with Fulgrim surrounding units, etc.
So if you do manage to survive, Fulgrim could be like, "You're probably not.
You stay here, my boy."
It's literally a Scorpion, like Mortal Kombat, like, "Get over here,"
whipping the tail around them, and you know, and you're sort of like, "Please let me go."
Yeah, so, yeah, exactly. I
like it.
Yeah, he does have to be Warlord. Obviously, he's the Primarch.
Yeah.
But he's very scary. He's very choppy. He's very fast, and then he can he's really like a disruptor unit.
Yes,
which is what like a big monster should be, right? He should if you are going to be able to send him that far that quick, disrupt the enemy lines rather than going in and killing someone and dying. It's kind of like, I can lock you in combat, which means I'm going to be -1. I can make myself -1 because it's any attacks is a Beguiling Form, shooting and combat, which is cool. So if you're thinking, oh, he's going to hit me really hard, I can make it worse. Or you can be like, they're going to have to charge me, so I'm going to give myself fight first. He's
a distraction kind of effects that you cannot be distracted from. You have to deal with him. You know what I mean?
Because obviously in your turn you're charging, you're going to have fight first. In their turn you can give yourself fight first. So it's like pretty much whenever you need it, all gaming could be fight first, which is scary for a big monster like that.
I totally agree. And I think again, if 385 is right, I will expect to see a Fulgrim on the table.
385 I think is probably very good amount of points for him. So
can we go on to his right-hand man?
Well, it depends who it is, because obviously I know all the lore of Lucius Eternal. Is it his right-hand man anymore? Don't know.
Very good point. He's been transformed into that many people that have killed him along the way, right? So Lucius the Eternal is a character slaughterer, in my opinion. He is, and
I mean, he kills most things with this profile.
I would potentially say my world, and again, points. I think he's an auto-include.
So currently, Lucius is 140 points in this.
Yes. He's fast, he moves 8, he's T5, 2 up, 4 up with 6 wounds, OC1, and could only be attached to flawless blades.
Flawlust blades.
Flawlust. I mean, they do lust. They lust after each other, flawless blades.
So Lucius is the only character that can attach to flawless blades.
Right. Yep.
And he can only attach them. So like, we're going to get onto the line raider. Transport's 14, flawless counts as 2. It's 6 flawless and Lucius, you know what I mean?
It's perfect for that.
It's literally what it's designed for. So he has the Blade of Leia, which has precision, obviously. 6 attacks, hits on 2s, strength 8, -3, 3 damage. Actually horrific.
Yes.
So great combat profile. Like I said, he's moving 8, so he's pretty fast. Obviously, we have to consider every time something moves really fast, he can also advance and still charge, which is cool. And he can fall back and charge, and he can fall back and shoot if he wants to, which he can't shoot because he doesn't have a gun. But Lash of Torment is his other weapon, which is sustain 1. 10 attacks, hits on 2, strength 4, -1, 1 damage. It's not great, but it's kind of like you've got the option. If you're against like a swarm unit, you know, with something loads of 1 wound, then maybe you go for the Lash of Torment, which is strength 4, something a bit like that.
And let's say, Mikey, Lucius gets into combat and he's in a unit and he wants to position the character out there, yeah? What happens? He gets reroll hit wounds and wound rolls as well. He
hit wounds and wound rolls.
Wounds and wounds, more wounds. He really doesn't like characters. It also works on monsters as well. So
and walkers. So anything on 2 legs, basically.
Yeah. he basically goes, "You're bigger than me, so therefore I'm the biggest and the best, so I'm going to take you down."
Yeah, which is super cool. So yeah, so reroll hits and wounds against character monster and walkers, and his second ability is at the start of the fight phase, if he's not leading a unit, so obviously if the unit dies because he can attach to flawless blades, he has fight first. However, the nice thing is, if he's not attached to a unit, he has learn operative.
Yeah.
So you don't actually have to run him with flawless blades. That is what feels like he should be in, but he actually nerfs himself because he loses fight first and he loses learn operative if he's attached to a unit.
Yeah.
But he obviously gets the benefit of being
like
with
wound
flawless
barriers
blades
and stuff. Yeah.
And flawless blades have a really cool ability that will affect Lucius as well. So yeah, feel no pain, 5 up, which is obviously great, keeps him around for a lot longer. And he has learn operative if you need it. So
I like Lucius, I really do. Yeah. He also, he does feel like he's lore accurate again for the, he does feel like he's very sort of fluffy as well. I don't think he's a character killer. He should be. That's the sort of person he is, and I love it. I love it so much.
Yeah. So they're your 2 epic heroes in the book. They're the 2 named characters. Both very cool. Lucius is such a cool guy, and just like. The thing is with him, he's just like going to be so scary. And then when you do finally kill, if you do take him with flawless blades, when you do finally kill him, he's like, well, now I get to fight first, so get fucked.
He effectively powers himself up, doesn't he? He sort of goes, you've killed one of my mates. This is where I prefer to be anyway. I am the star. I'm going to go in and wreak more havoc. He's a great character. I think you'll see him on the table.
Definitely.
Shall we go to the Chaos Lord, or as he is known in this book, the Lord
There's
Exalted?
no Chaos Lord in here, bro.
Come on, it's a Chaos Lord with a different name, the Lord Exultant.
It is. So he's essentially a Lord with a few more options, which is cool, but he also loses a few options. He can't take a Thunderhammer. He can only take what's in the kit. It's a spear and a power fist. That's all you care about.
Yeah.
Don't even need a pistol. Spear and power fist. Okay. So he's move 7, which obviously you're going to notice a lot of the units move 7 rather than 6, which is cool unless they're big and chunky, like the Cacophonist, which we'll get on too soon. T4, 3 up 4 at 5 wounds. He's a Chaos Lord. Most profile just a little bit faster.
Yep.
He has Perfectionists as his ability. So while he's leading the unit, it gives out lethal hits, which is obviously super cool. Just like you're going to see a lot of little bits like that, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot of lethal, sustained, and precision in this book.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways of giving different units it as well. And stuff like that, isn't there?
Exactly. So, and then he has Euphoric Strikes, which is best day ever for a Chaos Lord. Once per battle, at the start of the fight phase, he can get +3 attacks, and
he just injects himself in the arm, bro.
Yeah.
He's just like, I've got one massive syringe, it's going in, and I'm gonna chop someone up.
Yeah, so he gets +3 attacks, and he improves the AP. He doesn't improve the damage like a Chaos Lord would. So swings and roundabouts, you know.
Yep.
You got lethal, which is cool whenever he's fighting. And then he's got his ranged weapons, bolt pistol, plasma pistol, both standard. And then he's got the screamer pistol, which is obviously the new pistol in this book. It's a mini noise weapon, which is cool. So it's a 3-shot pistol that ignores cover, hits on 2, strength 5, -1/2 damage. So it's pretty consistent.
I still wouldn't take it, to be honest. I'd take the combat version, but yeah, I get it.
Yeah, if you're going to take a pistol, you're going to think about a plasma pistol or that, right?
Yes.
Strength 5, -1/2 damage is a nice profile. In the fact that it ignores cover, so it's effectively AP2 against stuff that is in cover.
Yep.
But he can also take Mastercraft, a power sword, a power fist, a rapture lash, or a close combat weapon, or the Phoenix power spear. So the loadouts is going to be power fist and then a spear. I think that's the way you have to take it.
Yes.
So yeah, you lose the pistol if you take
the power fist.
Yes. So power fist is pretty standard. But the Phoenix Power Spear, which is cool, which has a sphere. Sphere. It's round. Yeah. It has lance, 5 attacks, strength 7, -2 damage. There's a really nice profile, +1 to wound.
+1 to wound, yeah.
Because obviously, if you're taking the Power Fist, you're going to get strength 8, -2 damage. But you could also, with the spear, because you've got lance and more chances of you wounded on 2s instead of 3s.
Yeah. You have to remember, you're going to be doing a lot of charging in this army as well. It has fallback and charge, you're advancing charge, and you've got more chance to trigger lance as well. You know what I mean? So
I think if you think about it, kind of like strength 4, toughness 4, use Power Fist. But with the spear, against toughness 5, 6, 5 or 6, you're wounding on 3s with the Power Fist or the lance, but the spear has lance, so you wound on 2s. So, and then anything above toughness 8 or higher, you'd use the Power Fist. So it makes him like really good. You're basically winning most things on 2s until it's the same strength.
Yes.
So
yeah, the thing to note though, he can only be attached to infractors and tormentors, which are both flavors of the new Marines in this book.
Yeah,
so you
the
can't put him with the
battle line
flawless.
units.
You can't put him with the flawless blades.
Yeah.
So
which is a shame.
Yeah, I think he's one of those where he's there to be a bit of a punch in a squad of 10 Marines, right? Effectively, and to deal a lot of damage. If you know. Yeah. So yeah, he's all right.
He's cool, and again, he's only 85 points in the Codex.
Yeah.
So he's like. He's not exactly bad. And the nice thing is the battle line units, either one has infiltrators or scouts. He gains that when he attaches to a battle line. So obviously he gains whichever one he needs. He can't use both, obviously, because every modeling unit has to have it. But depending which one you attach to, he can infiltrate or scout. So you have an infiltrating, pretty choppy character, which is quite cool.
Yeah. Again, it feels this army as you go through will feel a bit like Alpha Striker, like the pressure this army is going to put on. Imagine if you put him infiltrated with a squad and
the choppy ones,
who were also on an objective that rose. It's gonna cause some pressure, real pressure early on.
I don't know if I mentioned this. I think I forgot to mention at the beginning, but like the thing is with this army is it's very much feels like a combat finesse army, and it's like if your opponent makes a mistake, you can absolutely bully them for it and mock them while you're doing it. However, if you make a mistake yourself, it can really fall over.
Yeah. So a bit soft and squishy. But,
yeah, definitely.
Lord Cacophonist, he is the speaker boy.
The new guy.
Yes, the new guy on the block. He's got the supercharged brand new speakers from Bose. He just plugged them back in. Yeah, Bose is like, boys, I need a good speaker. Backpack. Boom.
It's just like got 3 Bluetooth speakers and 2 in his hands as well.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
he's sort of like a Sonic lieutenant. Is that a good way to sum him up?
Yeah, definitely. Because he can attach to Terminators or Noise Marines.
Yes.
That's it. He can't attach to your battle line units, which is a bit annoying.
Yes.
Because I think that might be actually quite a cool way to put him with like the bolter ones, but by the by. So he only moves 6 as well. He's a bit slower. T5, which is nice. So he's meant to be like jacked up.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So he can take a power sword and a screaming pistol or double screaming pistol, which I think is going to be the loadout for him.
Yep.
Because what he has is obsessive enunciation, unlike me, because I'm from Yorkshire.
Say it again. Enunciate better, please,
Enunciation.
Mikey. Correct, yes.
Enunciation. He gives sustained hits to ranged weapons. Yes. So with Noise Marines, he gives them all sustained, which is obviously probably where you're going to see him. Yeah. And then he takes double pistols himself. So he's he's 6 shots, strength 5, -1/2 damage, ignoring cover. And then his other ability, Doom Siren. This is the only Doom Siren in the book.
I know.
Because it used to be a loadout. Now it's not, I should say.
It's just this. It's like a special rule now. Isn't it? No, it's not the most.
That's what the Doom. That's what the thing on his back is. That's the siren.
Yeah.
So it's like air horns.
It's literally like the canisters. And it's just like, I've activated Doom Siren, and it's the classic DJ air horn.
So you shoot in phase after this model's unit has shot, select an enemy infantry unit, and then roll 3d6 for each 4. You take a mortal wound. If an enemy suffers a mortal wound via this, they take a battle shock. That's a really good ability.
Yeah, it is.
Just throwing out a couple of 3 more wounds. He has the grenade keyword as well, so he can throw grenades if he needs to. So he can throw grenades, shoot his pistols, and then do mortal wounds to a unit.
Yep.
So it's actually like a really tricksy unit. And he's only 70 points, again, in the Codex.
Yeah.
He's only 70 points. So he's actually really...
His output's quite deceiving. You don't see it on the data sheet. But actually, if you start using him in a game...
Pistols,
you're a bit like, whoa, okay. But actually, if you start using him in multiple ways, like you said, grenades and charging and his effects and his mortal wounds, you go, does he add up to get his points back? Probably at the current stage, I'd say. But like I said, I think you'll see him bolted on...
shoot. But that's what you got to remember.
Yeah.
Every unit can advance to shoot.
Yeah.
So you wouldn't run him on his own, but like with Noise Marines, I think he's going to look... He's a look the part. Also, he buffs them quite nicely because they're obviously giving out sustained. And there's multiple ways with stratagems to get sustained. And a lot of the time, it says if you already have sustained, you get it on 5s. So then obviously they're getting double hits on 5s, which is super cool.
Yeah. Well, one of the units that is effectively a crossover unit is the Sorcerer.
Yeah, tell me about him.
Moves a bit faster, so move 7, toughness 4, 3+4, 4 wounds, leadership 6, OC 1. And he comes with Thrill Seekers, obviously, so he's advancing and charging and advancing and shooting and stuff like that. He has Warped Interference, which is a psychic power. While this model is leading a unit, each time a ranged attack targets that unit, models in this have the benefit of cover agagest that attack. So basically,
a little bit
cover save.
A defensive boost, which is cool.
Which actually in this book could come into quite use because it's one of the things that the army doesn't necessarily... The army's not tough, really, is it? You know what I mean? So actually, if you're giving yourself one of your tougher units a bit more of a cover save. That might be quite useful.
Yeah, which is cool.
Another sidekick is Racking Agonies. In your shooting phase after this model is shot, select an infantry unit hit by one or more of those attacks made by its agonizing energies. Until the start of your next turn, the unit is racked with agonies. While the unit is racked with agonies, subtract 2 inch from its move and 2 inch from its charge rolls. It's -2 move, -2 charge.
So many words to
Should
say,
have just
if
said
you shoot him, you get
-2,
-2 move.
yeah.
But obviously,
Yeah.
it's a status effect, so it doesn't stack. That's why it's got all that word at the beginning is to say it's like a status effect, so you can't stack it with multiple sorcerers. So yeah, his agonizing energies are the same as most sorcerers / librarians. It's the strength 6 -2 D3 and hazardous.
Yep.
But obviously, then he gives out the -2 move and charge, which is really cool.
Yeah, penning them in, slowing them down, trying to corner them in their own deployment zone, right?
Yeah.
So,
And it's only hit by. So obviously, you've got D6 attacks.
Yeah.
You know, average you're going to roll 3. One of them is going to hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even if you got -1 to hit.
yeah.
So just like he will die after that. He's only 70 points for the privilege, but like you know, it's like kind of quite a cool ability. But he can attach the Infractors, Tormentors, which is 2 battle line, and then Noise Marines as well.
Yep.
So I think that's actually a really good unit. I don't think you see sorcerers very often. I think those 2 abilities are really cool, and it's 18-inch range, so it's an 18-inch -2 move.
Yes.
So and benefit of cover.
Yeah, no, I think one of those where again, I think you're going to see a lot of these characters in these units performing certain roles in the army. Again, the people who will get the most out of this army are the ones that will play it to finesse it, and you're going to be using these little characters to try and give you defensive buffs, aggressive buffs. You know, there's 2 flavors of Demon Prince, which we always I think we expected this, but there's the usual one that is just plodding along, and there's one that's grown some wings.
Now these are very different to the ones in Chaos Demon or the Chaos Space Marine book.
They are.
They have completely different abilities. We should say in the Codex they're both 195 points, but the ones in the Codex, in the other Codex, are 165 the one on foot and 180 for the one on wing, so they are more expensive.
Yes,
as of the Codex.
But their abilities are different, which will probably justify it, right?
Yes. So the profiles are pretty much the same.
Yep.
Well, move 10, move 14. I think the other one actually moves 9 or 8 or 9.
Yep.
So the one on foot moves faster. He's got the Infernal Cannon. He's got the Hellforge weapons. You know, all of
both
that.
Both of them have that, the exact same on that one. So, but the one on foot has the Lord of Excess ability. There's a few abilities here. So, first one is when it's within 3 inches of another Slaanesh infantry, it has the Lone Operative ability, so you can't target him.
Which is crucial because obviously the next ability as well.
Yep.
Slaanesh infantry, not Emperor's Children.
Yes.
So, which means the Demon Prince synergizes with both the Emperor's Children army and the demons units in this book, which is cool because obviously they aren't Emperor's Children, but they are Slaanesh infantry still. So Demonettes will give him Lone Operative, which is quite cool. And his next ability also, which is
Excessive Vigor, which is an aura of 6 inches. If a Slaanesh unit made a charge move, improve the AP by 1. Okay, so effectively he is powering up your Demonettes, your Slaaneshi demons, going in there, making them hit harder with a -1 AP.
Your Terminators, your Infractors, because they're all Slaanesh, you know what I mean? So that's a really good ability. The fact that I really like that he does synergize with the demons in this book, because I was really concerned when I saw because the first thing I looked at was how the demons interacted. I was like, oh, the Demon Prince is going to be so weird because he's like a demon, but he's not. But yeah, the way that they've done it is kind of like the Demon Prince is a Demon Prince. He commands both parts of the army, whereas Emperor's Children focus being Emperor's Children, but the demons are doing their own thing. So
he's across both factions, isn't he? He loves them all equally.
Yeah, which is cool.
Then there's Ecstatic Death. If this model is destroyed, roll a d6 on a 2+. Do not remove it from play. This model can fight after all attacks have been resolved.
Yeah, 2 up fight on death, which is great for this. You know, let's say strike 6 attack, strength 8, -2, 3 damage.
Yeah,
not quite Lucius, but close.
No, but it's nice to go. You're going to get some value out of him before if he has been isolated and picked off, right?
So again, 195 in my opinion feels a little bit expensive especially because the other ones are 165. Yeah. So it's like 30 points extra. This is a unit that I would expect maybe gets an update before it gets published. You know, maybe drops down ever so slightly, but I think like raw profile pretty decent.
Yep. So I like him.
They've got the guy in wings. This is the torpedo, the guy that goes in and does combat. He doesn't really buff the army very well. So again, same weapons, but this time, each time he ends a charge move, select one enemy unit and roll 1d6 for each of the model's remaining wounds. Yep. So obviously 10 wounds potentially. And then on a 4, we do a mortal.
Impact
it's a super impact tactics, yeah. So max 6 mortals, which is obviously, fair enough. But like, yeah, it just like turbocharge.
And what makes him a bit more tanky is his second ability, which is effectively -1 damage.
Yeah. So he loses a point of toughness, but he has -1 damage.
Yes.
So it's a bit like, And he obviously moves 14 rather than 10.
Yeah.
But even then, 10 is not that slow when you compare to 14.
No. But also, again, Thrill Seekers, he could be, again, your atom bomb turn 1 if you wanted him to.
Yeah.
He will advance and charge, right?
And he can deep strike as well, so you can rapid ingress him, advance, so probably average 17, 18-inch move.
You're getting the feeling that this is quite... This is such an oppressive looking army for coming in, just landing, charging, causing havoc.
But it's not very defensive.
No.
Which is why we look at the sorcerer and go, benefit cover, nice.
Yeah.
You know?
Normally
you're like I'm okay, thanks. You know what I mean? But like now you're like, oh God, there's literally nothing that defends this army.
One more on my armor save, please.
There's not many feel no pains available. There's a bit of mortal wound defense here and there, but otherwise you are just falling over. But you kill stuff on the way down. Yeah. And sometimes you kill stuff on the way down and then get back up and then go down and kill it as well. Hence the Demon Princess Slaanesh.
Would you like to talk about what I would assume is one of your favourite units in this book, and I think will be your favourite unit in this book?
This is the unit, right? This is the new unit that everyone's talking about. It's the Blade Guard of it's the Exalted 8-bound of the book, right?
It's the Sangre Guard. Yeah, it's that element of you can see the format that Games Workshop are going for.
Which is ironic because the Flawless Blades have the smallest data sheet. Yes. They've got one ability and they chop up, okay? Move 8, T5, 3 up, 5 up, which is obviously, would have been nice to see a 4 up.
It would have been nice, yeah.
3 wounds, leadership 6, I see 1, fine. They've all got bolt pistols, great, okay.
Fine, yeah.
They've got the Bliss Blades, okay. 3 attacks each, hits on 2s, strength 6, -3, 2 damage.
Cool, really nice,
very nice ability.
Yes,
okay, they come
on their own. You'd be like, all right, cool.
They're very good. They're Blade Guard.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. They've got worse pistols, but the Blade Guard. Yeah, they're worse in one. But
then when you get to the ability, Mikey, that's when you start going, oh, this is where the Emperor's Children will. This is when they will cause.
They are demonic patrons. They've got weird shaped heads, and they're like that movie, aren't they?
Yeah, they're very like squished heads. They're like,
And this is why, because each time it's lets you to fight, you can call upon the whatever. Whenever you fight, you get crit wounds 3 up.
Yeah, crit 3 up.
So you wound anything in the game on a 3+. However, if you don't kill a model, not units, just you have to kill a single model. If you fail to kill a model, you go into a knight and you leave it on 1 wound, for example, you lose a Flawless Blade. Yeah. Just dies.
Not mortal wounds, nothing. You just pick one out. Job done. Yeah.
But essentially for free, you wound on 3s.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter what strength you are.
No.
It's crit wound. Actually crazy. Yeah. Actually crazy. And then obviously, the only unit that can attach this is Lucius. So now you're giving Lucius crit 3s because it's every model in the unit, because obviously that's how units work these days. So Lucius doesn't give anything to the Flawless Blades when he's attached.
Yeah.
But the Flawless Blades give him crit 3s.
Yes.
With precision?
Yeah, precision. And also you have to remember that if he specifically targets a character, monster, or walker, he gets to reroll his hit and win roll as well.
Yeah.
So they just sort of all adds up really nice. Lucius is wounding everything.
They are like ablative wounds, but they hit like a truck.
Yeah.
So they're 130 or 260 because they're coming units of 3 or 6. So yeah, very small profile. Pretty scary. Yeah. They're only damage 2 there. I would have liked to see some way to boost the damage because they are outside of like Fulgrim and Lucius, they are your hitters.
Yeah, yeah.
And they're only damage 2. So as soon as you hit damage 1, you just, or like reduce damage, I feel no pain is going to annoy you. So that is the only downside, but they can walk into a knight and win on 3s, which is quite funny.
Yeah, they don't really care about the size of whatever's staring them down. They are the biggest and the best swordsmen. But you look, 3 attacks for them. You're going to take a squad of 6, 18 attacks.
You can take a squad of 6 or maybe 2.
Hitting on 2s, wounding on 3s.
Mm-hmm. With advance and charge.
With advance and charge. You are also, all you need to do is kill a model.
Yeah.
I think if you target, and again, it's the right general, if you target the right units with them, they are going to cause some serious problems. Yeah,
I am a bit disappointed that you can't attach a Lord Exultant to them, because the problem is with only Lucius being able to attach to them is that no enhancement is going to really affect them, because obviously usually it's an enhancement whilst this model is in a unit or models in this unit, etc. The Flawless Blades are completely cut out from that right now because there isn't anything that unnamed character that can attach to them. No. So I feel like that is a little bit of a missed opportunity, because like a Lord Exultant, you know what I mean? It's like attaching a Chaos Lord to anything else.
Yeah.
But
there's a few stratagems that we'll see later on.
Yeah, don't get me wrong.
There are some in these detachments that will.
I'm not saying this is a bad unit.
It's not, but I agree. It feels like weird that they haven't allowed.
It feels like they've been spited. You know what I mean?
It's like you can put a captain in with Blade Guard, for example. You know what I mean? It doesn't feel like that crossover.
Then again, I'm not sure how it works with like 8-bound. They don't really usually get anything attached to them. Is that because they can't?
Yeah.
But yeah, so great unit, really, really good unit. Just feels like they've been slighted a little bit for some reason because they can only have Lucius. It would have been nice if Lucius could only attach to Flawless, but Fullers could have the option. But yeah, so.
Next we have Chaos Spawn, which are Chaos Spawn.
Chaos Spawn, the faster.
A little bit faster, but there's nothing else too different about them that you need to know for them. They get Thrill Seekers as well, obviously, so they are advancing and charging Spawn. They are fast, moving at 10.
Scotland Horrors, which is a unique ability. It's not from the Codex, the other Codex, sorry. Once a turn, when enemy unit ends a normal move within 9, this can make a normal move up to 6. So we see that a lot. We see reactive moves quite a lot. This is flat 6, which is quite cool. So again, it's a 70-point unit. It's there to like do actions or hold your home objective while everything else is advanced in charges. But yeah, it's like it's a good handy cheap unit, and the ability is quite nice because obviously if they're trying to go like I'm going to bully your home objective, I'm near you, there you go, I'm going to move 6 rather than like D6, which is normal. A lot of the time, if you see like a reactive move, it's like D6 unless XYZ, then it's 6. This is just flat 6. There's actually a strat in here as well. This is flat 6 as well, which I think is crazy. You know what I mean? So it's like everyone gets stipulations other than this book.
Crazy, man.
And that's because Flawless Blades can't have a lot of exultant, I'm going to say it.
Giving them a little bit of extra spice.
Yeah.
We've got 2 flavors of Marines in this book, which come in this brand new box. We have we'll start off with the Tormentors.
The Bolter Boys.
Bolt Boys, which can basically get standard bolt guns with a plasma pistol in there. Plasma gun in there. They're just standard Chaos Marines, aren't they, effectively? Apart from... You bet me to my joke. However, they infiltrate.
That's not even the best bit.
Oh, okay. What bit are you going to tell was the best bit?
Because all the guns have precision, Tom.
Well, yeah.
Even the melter gun.
You can target a character if you want.
Even the melter gun, Tom, and the plasma gun, Tom. They all have precision.
Oh, I thought the infiltrate was the best bit.
But they infiltrate and have precision.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So 95 or 190 points, 5 or 10, because it comes in 5s and 10s. As Thomas mentioned, Infiltrate is a very good ability on this unit. They move 7, which is cool.
Yep, a little bit faster.
The Infractors move 7 as well. A lot of the profiles are the same. Essentially, you have a different ability, different weapons, okay? The Obsessionist, which is the leader, could take a plasma pistol and a whip, which is cool, or you could take a power sword, but you're just going to take the whip. Yep. I built mine with the whips. Could look cool.
Yeah, they are very cool.
So, yeah, bolt gun, melter gun, and plasma pistol, combat weapon, and the power sword are all the same, but all the range weapons have precision, which is very sick. Very cool. And then obviously you've got the Rapture Lash, which is 6 attack, strength 4, -1, 1 damage. So that's obviously the unique the unique weapon of the book, basically. You've got the Screamer Pistol is 1, the Rapture Lash being the other.
Yes.
So
they have the thing as well where you stand on an objective and you can leave it. They're OC2.
Yeah, they've got sticky objectives, that's their main ability, which is cool. And then Icon of Excess, which is the war gear ability, the thing that's like above one of them on the backpack. At the end of the shooting phase or the fight phase, if the bearer's unit destroyed a unit, you get a take a leadership test and you get a CPP pass. Yeah. Which is cool. So you get the CP regen by killing stuff, which is quite a cool way to do it.
Yeah, especially if they're going to be picking up chaff again with bolt guns and stuff like that, or whatever it might be. You just a chance to try and farm some CP while they're just holding an objective in the mid-board or something like that, right?
Yeah, exactly. So you can attach Librarian to this unit, you can attach a Lord Exultant to this unit.
Librarian, wash your mouth out, Sorcerer. Whoa!
Sindri. You can attach a Sorcerer to this unit, so you can give them cover, which is cool. For the exact same points, you can swap all those guns for swords instead. And what's the best bit about this unit, Tom?
They scout 6 inches.
No! No! All the swords, all the combat weapons have precision.
I knew you were going to say that, but I just had to go along with it.
So you got battle line bolters with precision, or you got battle line swords with precision. Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
That's so good on a battle line unit that every weapon has precision. It's crazy.
Just nice to make every character quake a little bit in their boots. Yeah. Right? They think they're safe in I don't know, let's say a lieutenant thinks they're safe in a squad of Marines. No, you're not, my friend. We can pick you up. We can pick on you.
Well, you see a lot you've got let's say you played against I played Dark Angels the other night, right? You've got Inner Circle with Azrael, scary. You've got Judiciars attaching to or Blood Angels. You've got Captains attaching to Assault Intercessors. Very scary. You can just melt gun him out. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just take all these saves on your Lord.
Or weight of dice, because we all know that, they've got decent saves and invulnerables, but sometimes you just want to go, I'm going to just weight of dice that captain and shoot and charge. And, exactly. You can just pick them out, right? So precision range, but obviously these have precision weapons. They have the dueling saber and the power sword. So the dueling saber is what the most of them have
It's strength 4, -1/1 damage, and then your Lord has a power sword, which is AP2 instead. Or the Obsessionist, sorry. Or you can even the Rapture Lash, which also has precision in this one. Very Indiana Jones, because he's whacking the hats off rather than just going for the unit. So he's got the Rapture Lash has precision as well. They have Icon of Excess, same thing, kill a unit, gain CP. But they get if you fight, you get reroll 1s to wound. If you're fighting an enemy unit that's on an objective, you get reroll wounds. Yep. So, and obviously, as Tom's mentioned, what's the second best thing about this unit?
They scout 6 inches.
They do scout 6. Yes. With the Lord Exalted, they'll scout 6 as well. Not with the Sorcerer, because they don't have it. But obviously, you can put these in a Rhino. Yeah, Rhino can then scout 6, as well, which is cool.
They're quite good for, again, whilst some things are going to shoot with the board turn 1, these can be good for sort of like getting into a position for then turn 2 reaction or getting into objectives. And there's a lot like, they're your second wave, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know what I mean? For sure. So I think these are the only 2 battle line. Both very good battle line, you know what I mean? So they're all OC2, which is cool. You got Sticky on one of them, so you can have like your Tormentors sat at the back. Maybe one unit sits back like a unit 5 and they can walk off it because it's stuckied. And then obviously you got your Refractors, which are a lot more aggressive. They obviously move 7 with advanced charge as well.
Yep.
So, yeah.
Let's get on to what I could say is potentially the second best unit in this book, in my opinion.
Correct.
Chaos Terminators, the fastest Terminator that exists in Warhammer 40k. Okay, so they get an extra inch of movement, 6 inches. They're thrill seekers, so they advance and charge. But let's go through their data sheet. Toughness 5, 2, 4+, wounds 3, leadership 6. It's a normal Terminator profile. It's a
Terminator profile, yeah. All the weapons are pretty much the same. Yep. The wounds, etc. It's their ability that's fun.
Yes, so their ability is, in your shooting phase, you pick a unit to shoot. Okay, so let's say you shoot an enemy unit. You now get to reroll charge rolls against that unit. All you have to do is hit the unit to get reroll charges. You don't have to do any damage, you don't have to wound. You just fire some combi bolters into a unit and then you reroll charges.
The only stipulation is if you shoot, to get this ability, you have to shoot everything into that unit.
Yes.
Essentially, you're going to get a free command point in the reroll just for shooting the same unit.
Yeah.
So you can give them all like bolters, combi weapons, Reaper auto cannon or whatever. That's fine, but if the unit's still alive, you get reroll charges against it. You just can't split. That's the only real downside for that ability.
So if you think about this, if you have 2 great options with these, obviously the deep strike, or you can start them on the board, because some of the speed that you'll be able to get with these Terminators, again, you've mentioned the Land Raider as well. I don't think there is a bad way of running Chaos Terminators in this. If you put them on
advance 6 to make them move 12.
Or to advance 6 to make them move 12 and charge, and there's a chance to reroll the charge. You can also re-roll the charge from deep strike because you'll come down over 9 inches away, shoot
some bolters,
and then all being well, as long as you don't make too much distance, you've got a re-roll charge on you. You know what I mean?
The only weird thing about this unit is it's only 5.
Yes, you can't.
You can't make it a unit of 10.
No,
it is only a unit of 5, which I think is a little strange. But I guess if you just went, this entire unit is with potential for uppy downy, which we love. Yeah. There is options to uppy downy a Terminator unit, shoot, reroll charge, uppy downy, do it again. But like, yeah, the fact that it's a unit of 5 is like, I don't think it's the end of the world. It's just like, it just surprised me. That's all.
I can sort of see these on a board running next to a demon priest with a demon prince without wings. You know, for that sort of synergy that they give each other, because the demon prince would give these an extra pip of AP if they charge in together.
With everything, which is
also
cool.
Give the demon prince protection and a decent amount of protection. I can sort of see a squad of 5 with a demon prince around. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So they're 175 points in this book, 5 points cheaper than a normal Chaos Terminator unit.
Yep.
But yeah, great unit. I think you'll see. I've got some Chaos Terminators. Thanks for Pariah. Appreciate you. But yeah, so like, I think you'll see 5 or 10 probably in most lists. Yeah. So then we got Chaos Land Raider. It's a Chaos Land Raider. There's no difference, same points, but you've got access to a Land Raider. We're going to quickly flip over that one because then we move on to the other new / refreshed unit. It's the Noise Marines.
It is.
Okay, so these are
different
Devastators.
Yes.
Essentially. They've had a lot of changes. I've wrote them down, but I'm trying to read my writing.
They are different to what you'll have seen before these.
Yeah. So
I'll just go through the top line. They are the same effective similar profile to the Havocs, but with an extra inch of movement. Yeah. So movement 6, toughness 5, 3+ save, 2 wounds, 6 of leadership, and 1 OC.
So they don't have. If you've played Emperor's Children before, thing to watch out for is the shorter range. They don't have a Doom Siren, you know. But they've gained strength, AP, ballistic skill, loads. They've basically gained loads, but they've lost range. So you've got the Blastmaster, which you can take 2 of, because what's interesting. This is a unit of 6.
Yeah,
but you can't reinforce it. You can't take 12, but it's a disarminist, which is the leader of the squad, and then 5 noise marines. And I should say that they all take a sonic weapon, and then they can take a blastmaster.
Yep.
You know, or 2 blastmasters. So,
2 blastmasters.
So the best way to get them out is 2 blastmasters and then 4 sonic blasters, because obviously you could take a pistol and power sword of the guy and the disarminist, but it's like,
I thought you'd take him off straight away. You'd be the first thing you took off, when let's be honest. Yeah, if you start taking wounds, so you might as well give him a sonic blaster. So
2 blastmasters, 4 sonic blasters. That's what's taken. So the blastmaster, single frequency, ignores cover, hits on a 3 shots, strength 10, -2, 3 damage. Beast profile.
Lovely.
You've got 2 of them, that's 6 shots.
Yes, 3 damage is so nice. Again, thinking about what's in this book, 3 damage is a really good profile to have.
Yeah, exactly. So obviously, tie that in with the Lord Cacophonist, with his Doom Siren, or whichever ability it was, sustained hits on that as well, which is cool. So, and then obviously they can do the varied, which is 6 shots, strength 6, -2, 1 damage. So it's obviously the blast profile, essentially. So it's obviously not blast, but it's kind of like horde clearing instead.
Yep.
You know? It turns it up to 11.
Yeah, basically it just goes widespread. You're all gonna hear this music. Or no, just you over there. You're gonna get it. It's widespread shot spread.
And I will say the models are so sick. I love them. I think they're so cool.
I think they're
annoying to paint,
but
they look so much trim and so many different colours.
Their ability is in the shooting phase. After this unit is shot, select an enemy unit hit by 1 or more of these attacks, and until the start of your next shooting phase. Each time a battle shock or leadership test is taken for that unit, subtract 1. So basically, more chance for them to fail their leadership checks.
It's a shame it doesn't trigger a battle shock.
I would literally about to say, if it triggered it every time you shot at someone, you'd be passing out leadership tests everywhere, right?
Which would be really cool and really, like, again, quite literally disrupting them.
Yep.
But yeah, it makes a -1. So there are other ways you can trigger battle shocks, obviously, but like they don't trigger it themselves. They just make it annoying. So we forgot to mention the Sonic Blaster, which is obviously you got 4 of these per unit, 3 shots, strength 5, -1, 2 damage. So obviously a little bit toned down compared to the Blastmaster, but you've got another 12 shots of that afterwards. So the only downside with this unit is 18-inch range, and they don't have deep strike. They can advance and shoot, which is obviously important. They can fall back and shoot, which is obviously important. But like, yeah, it's just a shame there's not like the Devastators, the Havocs. You know, they feel a bit slow compared to the rest, I would say, because obviously they've got short range. And obviously you got a Screamer Pistol if you want to take one. You got a combat weapon and power sword if you want to take one. They do all have combat weapons, but like, it's a Havoc shooting weapon.
Yeah, these are the ones that are going to sit behind the front charge and are going to be trying to pick on elite infantry with the Blastmasters, right?
Yeah, exactly. And they're at 135 points for 6. Again, I just think a unit of 6 is really weird, but it's really good.
Yeah. I agree. I like
it.
I
think, why is it not 5? You know what I mean? Why is it 6? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess again it's that format of the sort of going for that 3 to 6 thing at the moment, aren't they? Everything feels like it's that's the where they're at. So
yeah, exactly. So they Noise Marines, very iconic, very cool unit.
Yes,
and pretty good in shooting. Then we've got the Helldrake. Yep.
I don't think you're going to see one personally.
We've got the Maul the Fiend, which has a slightly different ability. All the profile is the same as normal. I think it might move faster, but I can't tell.
Is it movement 8 for a normal Maul the Fiend?
Each time this makes an attack, if it's below starting strength, add 1 to the hit roll. If it's below half strength, add 1 to the wound roll.
Powered up as it gets hurt, basically. It gets better as it's more hurt.
Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty cool. Obviously, that affects shooting and combat, which is quite nice. 140 points, so it's 10 points more from the previous book, or the other book. Previous/other. I'm comparing it to the Spacemarine Codex. You got a Rhino.
You're going to see Rhinos.
It's a Rhino. It's a Rhino that can advance and charge. To be fair, it's a Maul the Fiend that can advance and charge.
It is Maul the Fiend, yeah. Very true.
So that's obviously crucial.
That's why maybe the extra 10 points are there for that one then, yeah.
You've got Rhino that can advance and charge and shoot, which is nice. Obviously, you can put stuff in there so it can infiltrate, etc.
We now move into the Pact of Excess side of this of this side of book.
So that is all the Emperor's Children units, like I said. There's that. I feel like we've been talking for like 4 hours. I don't think we have.
No.
But like, there's not that many units. There's not that many units, you know? So like, if we wanted to chapter that one off, it's kind of like, there's lots of really cool combat units. Terminators, Flawless Blades, you know, Infractors even. There's lots of like kind of cool tricksy units, like the sorcerer is quite tricksy, the tormentors are quite tricksy.
The demon priest with wings is quite
The
interesting.
demon princes look really interesting, yeah. And then obviously you've got the very obvious things. Fulgrim's probably going to be in most lists. Lucius is going to be in a lot of lists, I would say, because he's quite cool. But like, and then the noise marines are kind of like your backline unit, but they're short range. It's all choppy. There's no guns, no poppy.
Stop trying to make that land, okay? This entire army will work. You have to be in the middle of the board or your opponent's deployment zone. There is no...
It's aggressive.
Yeah, there is no... Yeah. You are not staying in your deployment zone. Yeah. Simple as that.
And it feels like if they touch anything in combat, it does just die. Yeah. You know, it's like the Infractors get in, they're going to murder your character. Lucius gets in, murders most things. Your Flawless Blades murders both things because it's just like...
Or if they don't, they murder themselves. So, you know, somebody's dying somewhere, isn't it?
Yeah. And then obviously Fulgrim is there, gets in, and then he's really annoying. There's actually, we're going to get into detachments, obviously we're doing it in slightly different order just for this one, but there's like stratagems where if you kill a unit or a unit dies within range of another unit, that you can then recharge or charge into combat again. So what you can do is be like, you know, send in a couple of units, fight with a unit, fight with another unit, kill it, and then the first unit that fought can then recharge and then go lock stuff in. So it's going to feel like very much like a control army and just slow your opponent down rather than being like a stand in a place and kill stuff. Yes. It feels very much control aspect. So that's what I think anyway.
I think so too. I think your entire thing is about hemming people in and trying to just target units that they don't think you can get to because you've left a gap or whatever it might be.
Exactly. And so you're going to be able to punish your opponent really easily. But again, the problem is that you are a combat army that's relying on advanced rolls that doesn't have anything to like... Well, it feels like they don't have anything to like cover their own back, if that makes sense. If you make a mistake, if you leave a unit in the wrong place, there's not much defensively you can do about it.
Yeah, this reminds me.
Hope the sorcerer is there to give you a cover because that's about it.
It's just a sorcerer just going, I'm trying my best.
Just hiding under a blanket in the middle of the battlefield.
In my opinion, this is like an army that it will sort of like feel like rather than standing in an objective waiting for someone to come to it, it's going to have to go past the objective, kill the stuff first and score later. Does that make sense?
It feels like a late game army.
Yeah, it's very much I'm going to just alpha strike the hell out of you and then worry about the bold state afterwards, you know?
Yeah, so. Exactly. And if you enjoyed this video so far, we appreciate it. About to talk about Chaos Demons, or the demons that are in this book. Make sure you like it and leave us a comment and let us know how we can improve this video. If you've enjoyed, there's bits you've enjoyed or bits you haven't enjoyed so far, do let us know. It's the first time we've done one of these properly. We've not done codex reviews like this in a very long time. So yeah, just let us know. I really
We've had a live comment in that says, please can Mikey stop calling it a pop and charge or whatever it was that he's calling it.
All choppy, no popping.
Sorry, Helps if I actually got the phrase right.
It's clearly not catching on.
No, shall we look at Shalaxi Hellbane?
There's only like 5 data sheets. It's probably not replacing the Chaos Demon Codex. Shalaxi Hellbane. Down 35 points, allegedly.
Okay. Allegedly.
In this codex.
Allegedly.
But she has a new ability. Because all the profiles are the same. A new ability. She has reroll, advance, and charge, which I think she already has.
Yes, but the only thing I would say is obviously remember no thrill seekers here. So
which is
you
very
can't
true.
advance and charge.
Very good point. They don't have thrill seekers. They don't advance and charge unless it says so.
So although it says you can reroll the advance and charge, you're not doing both.
No, exactly. And again, the only way to take these demons out of this book is if you're playing one particular detachment. You can't take them otherwise. Yes. There's no other way to take them. So, again, I do think it's just add a few extra pages.
I generally think also that as well, yeah.
So, Monarch of the Hunt.
Monarch. Can we go a bit more posh, please?
Monarch
of the
Hunt.
Yeah.
Aye. At the start of the first battle round, select an enemy unit to be the model's quarry. Each time this model makes a melee attack that target its quarry, reroll the hit and the wound roll. Each time this model's quarry is destroyed, select a new unit.
Grudging. He's effectively going, you first.
This is the dwarf of the book.
Yeah. You first. If I kill you, I'm picking you as my next. You're just challenging people all the way through, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, like, I believe the ability currently is like if you fight a vehicle, character, or monster, similar to Lucius, reroll hits and wounds. Now it's against a particular model.
Yes.
In particular. So if you can...
No, it's like one enemy unit to be the model's quarry. So so it's a full unit.
Yeah, it is a full unit.
Yeah.
Cool. So like obviously the whole point is to go and fight big things.
Yep.
But like it's essentially the same.
Yeah.
So moving on to Keeper of Secrets. 10 points more, 300 points in this codex. The only difference is from the normal one is the Aegis, the Shining Aegis, which is the shield. Instead of giving a Feel No Pain, it gives a 3-up save.
3-up, 4-up. That's basically what it gives himself. Fine.
I'd rather the thing I pain.
Yes, just if it comes into, as people bring higher damage weapons, it comes into effect more feel no pain, right? Whereas if people are getting 3 your save anyway, you're on your 4 at most of the time, right? So why is it? It's not going to change.
You know what I mean? If you're wounding strength toughness 10, unless you've got a couple of lucky ones with the bolter, it's about AP.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, obviously with the save characteristic, you've got the benefit of being able to benefit from cover, essentially giving you a 2-up save against AP. Obviously not if it's AP 0. That's not what I'm saying. If you got a 3-up save and you're in cover against AP 1, you've still got a 3-up.
Things that will be shooting a Keeper of Secrets will be popping it on its 4+ invulnerable save.
Most
so
of the time.
You're a bit I'd have rather, like you said, have the feel no pain.
But yeah, so, and the only other thing as well is obviously they don't have Shadows of Chaos, so they don't have a Shadow of Chaos aura, which means they're not giving out battle shocks. It's -1 leadership, etc. So yeah, I will say before we go on to the last 3 units, because there is only 3 more, by the way, they just feel a bit like those two, especially, just feel a bit weird. They
don't synergize with the rest of you can see the synergies across the book, even with like the demon prince and all that sort of stuff. These just feel like hey,
they feel a bit odd.
Hey, we're hanging around on the outside.
I don't know why Shellax is here.
No,
that one feels worse. I think again, like I mentioned, I thought initially it was because they're the same kit, but then you can't take the Forge Fiend, but you can take the Mauler Fiend, which is with the same problem. But yeah, those two. Shellax Hellbane's cool. She's a very good unit. Keeper Secret's cool. It's a very good unit, but it's just like
I'll have more Emperor's Children rather than them, please.
When we get to the detachment, obviously things change. However, they just feel a bit out of place, I would say.
Yep.
So then we've got Demonettes.
Yep.
So pretty sure the data sheet is all the same.
I didn't spot any differences in them. So
the only difference is that they lost reroll hits. Because obviously they have I think it's like on an objective reroll. Reroll hits or rolls of 1 unless you're on an objective or something like that. Instead, they've got the start of the fight phase. Each enemy with engagement range takes a battle shock at -1 if they're below half. And I'm a bit like, okay.
That's not really going to come into effect, is it?
No, the big thing is they have fight first, which is really good. So they've gained fight first in this. They are 120 points for 10. So 20 points more than the Codex version, or the Index version, I should say. But they aren't quite as choppy, but they go first.
Yeah.
So I think there's obviously like lots of ways where the Demonettes can gain fight first in the Index or detachments or whatever. However, obviously if you take an ally 500 points, which you can still do, they won't have that. But if you wanted to take Legions of Excess with the Carnival of Fun time, whatever it's called.
Carnival of Fun Time.
Carnival of Fun Time. You obviously have fight first, which is quite nice. So, do you want to tell us about Fiends?
Yeah, Fiends profile is the same. Movement 12, toughness 5, save of a 7+ and a 5-up invulnerable save. 4 wounds. The deep strike. They have the ability of. That's why you wanted me to read it. Soporific Musk. Each time an enemy.
I'm going to say it's the same ability from the Demon book, but it's different.
Yeah. I don't understand why it's different, but anyway, each time an enemy unit, excluding monsters on vehicles with an engagement range of 1 or more of the units from your army with this ability falls back, models in that enemy unit must take a desperate escape test. When doing so, if the enemy unit is battle shocked, it subtract 1 from the desperate escape test. Yeah. Basically, if you fall back from Fiends, you're taking a desperate escape test.
Yeah. So previously, you couldn't do it against vehicles or Titanic. Yeah. Now it's monsters and vehicles. So it's basically everything big rather than mostly not vehicles. You could still do it against monsters, essentially. And I believe it used to give them -1 to hit as well. But now it doesn't have
stripped out of that. Okay.
Yeah. So they are 130 or 260. Previously in inverted commas, they were 105 or 210. So they could be a lot more expensive for essentially making their ability worse.
Is that the same points as the Flawless Blades?
Yes.
You just take Flawless Blades. Yeah. Sorry, but that's, you have to compare it like that, you know?
Yeah. But, and then finally we've got the Seekers, same profile, they're just 10 points more than the Codex version. So, and that's all the units.
That is all the units.
That is all the units. Obviously the demons, there's only 5 units of demons, which makes me think, okay, yeah, they're probably not going to get rid of the book. But obviously, like, I feel like they're here to fill out the book. And also that detachment, which the detachment's cool, don't get me wrong. But it feels like they're here to fill out the book rather than being the replacement for anything else.
Yeah, I don't. If you're running the demons with the Emperor's Children in this army. I think you're doing it for the love of the army and how it'll look and how it'll feel on the tabletop. I don't think if you're going for a slap
replacing the
list,
Chaos Demons list there.
No, you either stick solidly with Chaos Demons or you're going with full Emperor's Children. In my opinion.
Yeah. So they're all the units. So now we're going to go back and do the detachments. Okay, detachment time. You know what the units do. Now you're going to find out what they can do.
Yes.
You know
how to put a penny in them to get more out of them, shall we say?
Which is why I did it that way first. You've got all the unit information now. Now we can talk about the detachments. Okay. Let's start with the first one, Mercurial Host.
Yes.
This is the one that I would say is like an index.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a bit generic. But it works for everything, which is quite cool.
It has a lot of the stratagems and enhancements that you might have seen in other indexes and codexes, the utility stratagems, right?
It's not relying on one thing like a lot of other detachments do, you know? So the Mercurial Host has Quicksilver Grace. Reroll advance rolls for Emperor's Children units.
But that's not all. You also know that you get to advance and charge with Emperor's Children, so you are basically guaranteeing if you get that 1 on the dice on the advance that you don't really want because you've got something you want to plan on charging and you've got another pop, right? So,
exactly. So every Emperor's Children unit, not demons, not Emperor's Children, they're demons, is rerolling those advance rolls now. So obviously you advance and charge with everything anyway because of Thrill Seekers, which is the army-wide rule. They re-rolled in those advance rolls, which is super nice. So again, you've got auto advance 6 in this detachment as well.
Yeah.
So we should say that 1 CP on the Prince, auto advance 6. So now everything else that isn't auto advancing has a reroll, which is nice. So you're going to get that guaranteed for, you know what I mean? Pretty much. It's not guaranteed. It's never guaranteed. You can roll a 1 into a 1, obviously, but like you're more likely to going to get the high averages. You know.
And just jumping onto that stratagem that is in here, which is auto advance 6 for an Emperor's Children infantry model. Think of that with the flawless blades. They move 8.
Yeah.
Okay. So their threat range is 12 on top of that. That's 20 inches.
Yeah.
And charge, right?
Yeah.
Like that's
scary.
Yeah, it's just crazy, isn't it?
Why is it 20 inches?
So those cutbacks,
It's also infantry on the edge,
So you think about that with the flawless blades, right? You've got, an 8-inch move base, and then you're advancing. You've got 2 pops at getting that 6 on the advance roll, and they're charging with a threat range after that of 12 inches. That is
scary.
That's you can see them being really powered up and fired forward, right?
Expensive combo. It's Land Raider on the front line. Disembark 3.
Okay.
Move 8. Advance 6. That's a 17-inch move. Right? Is that the
and charging after that,
And then charge from your deployment zone.
Very cool.
On some deployments, like the one that's like the weird shape, old sweeping engagements.
You're
only like 18 inch apart.
Yeah.
So you're 1 inch away from the deployment zone before you charge.
And
it gets to shoot you bolt pistols. So anyway,
enhancement. Shall we take
4 enhancements? Tell me about it. We've got the first one, which is 20 points.
Okay. It is steeped in suffering, an Emperor's Children model only. Each time a model in the bearer's unit makes an attack that targets a unit under starting strength, add 1 to the hit roll. If it is below half strength, add 1 to the wound roll. So you're punishing a unit that is
taking damage. Yeah. Great enhancement. Obviously, when we talk about the enhancements, they can't affect flawless blades because they're the only unit that can't.
You can't give this to Lucius, effectively, which is, you'd love to. You can give this to your captains, your Lord Exaltants.
Lord Exaltants, actually.
You can give them to sorcerers, but then again, you're only really using this in your infractors, your tormentors.
I was checking that the Lord Cacophonist can take these as well. Yeah. So, because he's not an epic hero. The epic heroes are Lucius and Fulgrim. Yeah. So any other, you saw sorcerer, Lord Exaltant, and Cacophonist to take these. So yeah, great. That's great. Obviously, it works for both things. If you want to take a Lord Exaltant, you can put that on like your infractors, which is cool, which is quite nice. So you're obviously making them even choppier because they're already re-rolling wounds. Now they're getting +1 to wound as well. Yep. Super nice. You could put it on the Lord Cacophonist with like noise marines to make them even better, which is cool because obviously you've not got much shooting, so let's really buff that shooting. Or Terminators. On the Lord Cacophonist, which is quite cool.
Your next one is Intoxicating Musk. This is a bit of a defensive one.
You've got an Intoxicating Musk.
Thank you. Well,
it's been a long
take that.
It's been a long recording.
I've been sweating. Make sure I don't get anything wrong. Emperor's Children model only. Each time a melee attack targets the bearer's unit, if the strength is higher than your toughness, you are subtracted 1 from your enemy's rule.
Custodian Wardens. essentially. Obviously, this is great on most units. The Intoxicating Musk is 25 points. I don't think the points for the enhancements will change, by the way.
No, I think unless
but I think these are pretty much going to probably stay pretty secure. So yeah, award an ability for 25 points on those Terminators to make them really, because there's only 5 of them, which is cool. You can put it on. I keep thinking, what could you put it on? There's 3 characters that can take these.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So
and I think you're right. I think you're nailing it. I think you're looking at the big cacophonist guy with the Terminators to go, what's the best combo to make them more survivable or more punchy. Yeah.
You're putting it on the cacophonist to go with the Noise Marines or Terminators a lot of the time, I think. The Lord Exultant, don't get me wrong, with like 10 Infractors, pretty interesting.
It's like a sleeper unit. Like your person, your player might look at them going, they're just Marines with some knives.
Because they're definitely like a year ago when Chaos Space Marines were really good and everyone was running like 5 Legionnaires. It feels like that. You know what I mean? So like they fill that similar role of kind of like an infantry unit that is Space Marines, but they're actually quite good.
Yep.
Especially because when you think about this, on your Infractors and Dominators, whatever you're buffing, it has precision. So like Steeped in Suffering, +1 to hit and then +1 to wound on Infractors that are precision ranged. You know?
Yeah.
Pretty funky. It's a funky
really
combo, but it's quite cool how it works. And again, I feel like this is a great way to do it because now we can talk about that unit that you know about. You know?
Yeah.
So
Tactical Perfection is the next enhancement. It is
15 points, it is.
50 points. Okay. Emperor's Children model only. It is a redeploy for 2 units.
So Emperor's Children units.
Once everyone has set everything up before the first turn roll off, you can move some jiggery pokery. If you decide that you want to bait someone with a unit and chop and change, it's nice little utility.
But like, because it says you can put them in strap reserves as well, so you can put like Terminators on the front line and then redeploy them into orbit and then deep strike them, which is cool.
Or rapid ingress if the moment shows itself well. So
and then obviously you can put your infiltrating units on the front on their front line 9 inches away.
Yep.
Like a big unit of tormentors on the front line to stop them charging so they play weirdly. And then you go, okay, I'm going to redeploy and put them on my home objective. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or something like that, you know. A little bit funky. Yeah. Obviously you've got to put character in there, so it makes it a bit expensive. But yeah, it's 15 points for that, which isn't too bad.
Last one is Loathsome Dexterity. What's the points on this one, Mikey?
Loathsome is 10 points, which is the cheapest one, which I don't think this one should be the cheapest one, but there we go.
Emperor's Children model only. Each time a model in the bearer's unit made a normal, advance, or fallback move, it can move through enemy models. When doing so, it can move within engagement range of such models, but cannot end the move within engagement range. And it doesn't have to do Desperate Escape test. It passed automatically.
So they can't get trapped in combat, which is crazy good for 10 points. So you can't like try point them, so they have to Desperate Escape. They can just walk out, and they essentially fly.
Yeah, they just go wherever they want. And again, when we're thinking about this army of hit and running, moving forward, advancing, charging, falling back,
12, moving 14,
recharging. There's a hell of a lot of this. You don't want to end up in a situation where you can't get to an enemy unit's models because you can't get through a gap.
Yeah.
If anything, you're going to be able to really pressure things that your opponent thinks is safe with that.
Yeah, just like you've got a screen, I don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You've got something in the way, I don't care.
Yeah.
I just advance over it and charge it.
Yeah.
So, and then if you do try and stop me, because you've managed to survive the combat, then you just fall back over them and keep going, which is cool. So yeah, 4 great enhancements. I don't know if you build an army around them, because sometimes you see enhancements and you build armies around them, but they're all really good, I think.
Yeah.
And again, it's kind of like, I think the benefit of going, they can't go on Flawless, which I know I keep going on about, but like they can't go on Flawless, and now you're looking at all these other units, you know, Noise Marines, Infractors, etc., which is cool. So
looking at some stratagems, let's go through some of these. So we'll start off with the 1 CP, which is Violent Excess. This is in the fight phase, and it is effective to give yourself sustained hits 1.
Great, excellent. You know,
like if you've got weighted dice.
Now this can be used on Flawless.
It can. So let's say those 18 attacks from Flawless hosts going in with their blades, you're going to be getting an extra, 3, 4 on top of that as well?
Yeah, an average 3.
Yeah,
an extra 3.
So
you're going to hit 18 times probably a lot of the time, which is cool. 1 CP for sustained. You know, it is only fight phase, but it's really good. What I should say is there's no Armor of Contempt or equivalent. No -1 AP. They have other things instead, because obviously Armor of Contempt is currently neutered in the balanced data slate, so it's limited to single attack rather than phase.
Yes.
So all the ones in here is phase, such as 2 CP for combat stims. So 1 Emperor's Children infantry unit that's targeted in the fight phase, you give them -1 to wound.
Cool.
So which is great.
Yes, that's
Now,
really
obviously, you've got subtract 1 from the wound roll for intoxicating musk. You've now also got 2 CP to do it again. Don't think it stacks because it's -1 to the wound roll. So I don't think it stacks together, but you could have 2 units that are -1 to wound in a combat phase, which is quite nice.
And in a book that doesn't have too much defense, you've got to be looking at these sort of things to go, I want to be protecting my assets, my terminators, my flawless blades. I'm going to be looking at these stratagems.
2 command points, expensive.
Yep.
However, it's good. It's very, very good, you know? So essentially you can think about it this way, you can pop like 2 equivalent warden abilities in the army, which is cool. Only downside is infantry, at least you can't do it on Lucius.
Yes.
Lucius. You can do it on Lucius, you can't do it on Fulgrim.
Fulgrim's the big boy.
The snake, yeah.
We've discussed Honor the Prince, but it's an Emperor's Children infantry unit. It advances 6.
Yeah, flat 6 advance. So obviously everything we talk about, reroll advance rolls, you've got the advance charge army wide. You've got essentially fly with loathsome dexterity. Now you're auto advancing 6. So Terminators move 12 advance charge. And reroll charges if they shoot the same unit, which is great.
Yeah, you're going to feel the threatenings from turn 1, Dark Vigor is 1 CP. When you use it in your opponent's movement phase just after an enemy unit normal, advance, or fallback move. So effectively, they're in your gorilla coming towards you. It's a reaction, Emperor's Children unit from your army, excluding beasts and vehicles, that is within 9 inches of an enemy unit, they get to move 6.
So this does include Fulgrim and obviously all your main units. It's just not Land Raiders, etc.
Or Spawn.
Yeah. Well, Spawn have this already. This is the Spawn ability.
You can't do it twice.
Yeah. So obviously, as I mentioned when we talk about Spawns, is that they have a flat 6 reactive move. This is a flat 6 reactive move for 1 CP, which has no stipulation. Which, like I said, Star Shatter Arsenal has a reactive move that's now D6. There's the Gladius Task Force has reactive move. D6 unless you are XYZ. There's lots of reactives that are like D6 unless this is...
They've got conditions attached to them, right?
Little stipulations, right? Whereas this one is just move 6, which is cool. It just makes it the better version of what it could be. There's no stipulation to make it better. It's just 6, which is great, you know? So someone goes near Fulgrim or someone tries to get away from Fulgrim, he just moves back towards them, which is quite fun. Great strat. So
another stratagem is Capricious Reactions. It is basically just fast boys, -1 to hit. So an enemy unit targets you, you are -1.
It's lightning fast reactions, but early shooting. Yeah. So
I like to think that they're just like, like stylish moving, like Matrix style.
So actually, to make them look fast, they move slow.
yes, very true. Yeah.
So again, you don't have access to Armor of Contempt, but like this would be for the phase rather than being the single attack. So you kind of have to look at it that way. You don't have -1 AP, but you have stuff that affects the entire phase, which is cool.
And the last one for 1 CP is Cruel Raiders, and it is pull things off from board edges and put them into strategic reserves. Yeah,
it's reverse outflank because it's a unit within 9 of a board edge and not within 3 of an enemy unit can be uppy downy. Essentially, because like I mentioned, you've got Terminators that are really cool. You could maybe... let's say in an ideal world when no one thinks about the plans that you got in your head, advance 12, charge into something, absolutely murder it with sustained hits, for example, be the edge of a board edge, be pulled off the board because you're within 9 of the end, spend 1 CP for Cool Raiders. Obviously you spent like 4 command points at this point, so it's not happening turn 1. But then the trick is that because they're in reserve, they make a rapid ingress them and deep strike them back to the board.
Yes.
So that's like obviously
the dream scenario.
You've got unlimited CP and your opponents do not even play the game. They're just stood there while you do have fun. But like there is tricks with that where you can like deep strike those back on. You can take Infractors off the board. It is any unit. Now you can do it with Fulgrim as well, who obviously flies, so he has deep strike as well. So you can take Fulgrim and uppy downy him as well, which is cool.
Could you imagine the insult of managing to get within 9 inches of your opponent's board edge with Fulgrim, killing something effectively really far depth of their deployment zone and going yoink, literally like that's how fast this army could be in my head,
because obviously you can play that in with Dark Vigor as well. So when they move near you can make a null move of 6. You can put yourself onto a board edge. You know what I mean? So you only
even just go closer to help, you know what I mean? There is so much
you've got to be within 15 inches of a board edge for those two strats to work really well together. You know what I mean? And that obviously 15 inches of a board edge is suddenly a very large part of the battlefield. So
for me, Mercurial Host is...
That's your favourite, I think.
It's because it just feels like it has all of the tools to really sort of like catch your opponent out. It's the toolbox you want for me. It's got the utility. You can defend yourself a little bit with a -1 to wound, a -1 to hit. You can pull a unit off. You can you can put things in strat reserve from the start if you wanted to. It's just got the load of little tricks and stuff that you might not expect.
Yeah, so it's I do feel like it's the jack of all trades detachment, which is kind of like I said, like it's like an index detachment, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. Again, like I mentioned, I play Space Marines most of the time. Gladius Task Force is still one of the best detachments for most armies. Most people still play that one. I like it. It's just it's not like a specialized detachment.
No, it doesn't scream Emperor's Children. There's nothing in there that is really full of taste.
I think there's a lot of flavor. It's just like, it's not like this is a flawless blades detachment. This is like a transport detachment. So, but like there's some, in my opinion, some more interesting ones, which I don't know if that means they're stronger. They just seem like way cooler, if that makes sense. This feels like the detachment that you should have had at the start. Yeah, things, you know. Speaking of,
Peerless Bladesman.
So this one feels pretty funky.
Yes, it does.
It's a little bit weird though. I don't know if it's better or not. It's got the flawless blade at the top of the picture. Love that. It was great.
Yeah,
it was great.
So the detachment rule for this one is each time an Emperor's Children unit from your army is selected to fight, if it made a charge move this turn, select one of the abilities below. You basically give yourself either lethal hits or sustained hits.
Yeah. This is Dark Pact, where you have to charge and you don't take damage because it's the same. So it's a little bit weird because obviously like it makes your combat even better, which is cool. But you do have to charge, and obviously like if you look at like a Chaos Space Marine army, they just do it whenever they shoot or fight. This is only in the fight phase.
Yeah. Obviously, the idea,
but it's good.
The idea of this army is that you will be charging, right?
Yeah.
And you're falling back and recharging. So in your head, you're a bit like, I should be triggering this every turn on on a good portion of my units. Yeah?
It just means your entire army is going to have sustained most of the time, you know, unless you're against like a knight, then you want lethal.
Yeah.
So imagine now those flawless blades with their 18 attacks getting sustained for free.
Yes.
And then we'd done threes.
Yeah.
So, and then you obviously have all the stratagems for them to play with. But shall we talk about the enhancements?
Yes. So we kick off with Faultless Opportunist.
This is 10 points, by the way.
You can target the bearer's unit with a heroic intervention stratagem for 0 CP.
Great.
And you can do it if you've already used.
That's the big bit, Tom.
Oh, right, okay.
That's the big bit.
All right. Okay. And you can do it even
Twice.
if you have done heroic intervention this phase already.
Yeah. So obviously we've had a big change to things like rites of battle, which obviously used to be use a strat and then use it again. All of that's gone, unless it names a specific stratagem. So now you can essentially heroic intervene with 2 units. So you can, if someone decides to charge you because they're like, well, you're Emperor's Children, I don't want you to use Exquisite Swordsman against me. You heroic intervene for 1 CP, and then you can heroic intervene with another unit, this unit for free as well. And then they both charged, because they don't get fight first, but they will get their lethal or sustained, depending which one they want. So for 10 points, that's so good.
Yes.
So good. Auto take.
Blinding Speed is the next enhancement. It is fights first on a unit.
Yeah, once per battle.
Once per battle, yeah. Trigger it once.
Yeah, so at the start of the fight phase, you can give yourself fight first. If you are against like another combat army, let's say World Eaters, for example, they send in Angron or something like that into one of your units, you can go, I'm going to have fight first, so at least I can try to hit you before I die.
Yes.
You know, so great enhancement. The problem is with that one, it's probably only going to be really used on, well, I mean, you can use it on the Infractors, the choppy battle line. I'm going to call them choppy battle lines, because you forget which one's which.
Shooty or choppy battle line.
I'm pretty sure Infractors is the choppy one.
Yeah, Tormentors are bolt gun boys.
Yeah, so obviously it's good on those. It's really good on the Terminators. It would have been nice to see on the Flawless Blade. Yeah.
But you can't get
because it's once per battle. It's only once per battle.
Yeah.
That's not crazy.
No.
But yeah.
Distortion, it's an Emperor's Children model only, just the model. Add 1 to the attacks and damage characteristics of the model.
That's great.
Yeah.
Lord Exultant with one of those is damage 3 with his spear and his fist. Really, really good.
Yep.
Yeah. So it is only melee weapons, so you can't be like 3 damage screamer pistols on the Lord Cacophonist, which is fine. So Distortion is 25 points. We should say Blinding Speed is 35 points, so you are paying a premium for that fight first once per battle.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've got like free heroic intervention here and there, so you can like heroic with 2 units and then make one of them fight first. Obviously, I don't think there's any way to get multiple characters on the same unit, so you can't have free heroic and fight first, but still. But yeah, so plus one damage, Lord Exultant every day.
Yeah, 1 attack, 1 damage extra.
Because the other ones, a sorcerer's not that great.
No.
And then look at Cacophonus has got 2 pistols, so.
The last one is Rise to the Challenge. It's an Emperor's Children infantry model only, obviously. Once per battle at the end of the fight phase, if the bearer was within engagement range of 3 or more enemy models, it can use this enhancement. If it does, the bearer can fight 1 additional time. When doing so, you select 1 ability using the exquisite swordsmanship detachment rule. So it's basically you count as charging as well.
Yeah, because if you are forced to fight, you're technically not being selected. I think that's why they've had to add that caveat. So it's all the infantry, which I've realised with that other detachment, we didn't even think about the Demon Prince once.
No, that's true. Yeah.
So that's something to consider when you're writing lists. Unlike us, the Demon Prince can take these as well.
Yeah,
but not Rise to the Challenge, which is 30 points for a fight twice. So
I'm not sure. But then again, you're sort of a bit like, would you? That's quite situational.
I prefer +1 damage. Yeah. It's good. So obviously, if that so just so happens if you're against a big horde unit, you don't manage to kill them, or you can fight again, but it's 30 points to manage to kill a horde unit.
You're only against with your captain, with your lord, exultant. You're getting.
Are you surviving? That's the thing. You know what I mean? Are you surviving combat against if there's 3 models still left? You could heroic into them, kill a few. There's 3 left. They don't manage to kill you, so you kill them again. It's it's just it's very good, very situational.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a funny one, I think, because again, if it's a bit cheaper, I'd be like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
20 points, probably auto in. 30 feels a bit too pricey, I think.
Yeah. Let's look at some stratagems then. So we'll start with, for the 1 CP, Deft Parry. Okay. Use it in the fight phase. -1 to hit. Yeah.
So yeah, again, it's your AOC equivalent in this. It feels like every detachment has a -1 to hit ability, which is cool. So, but this is obviously early in the fight phase.
Yep.
So
2 CP for Death Ecstasy. Use it in the fight phase. And a unit, and it's on the entire unit until the end of the phase. Each time a model in that unit is destroyed, if that model is not fought, do not remove it from play. They get to have an attack.
Free fight on death for 2 CP.
No rolling, nothing. You just free fight on death.
Yeah, exactly. So it is 2 CP, and we should clarify as well. Obviously, you're going to get 1 command point in a turn from your battle round, but obviously, your 2 battle line units both have ways to gain more command points with the icon of excess.
Kill a unit, right?
Yeah, and I think they can. Yeah, they can only take 1 per 5 or 10, but yeah, if they kill a unit, then you are gaining command points, so you are more likely to trigger these 2 CP command points, 2 CP stratagem. Sorry.
Yeah.
So.
It's the sort of thing where you sort of want them to try and plink the last wounds or models in a unit, don't you? Yeah. To try and play strategically and try to generate those command points.
Because even if you give your Lord Exultant Distortion, if he's with a unit of Infractors or Tormentors, he's gaining command points for you as well, because it's part of the same unit.
Yep. So, Incessant Violence is 1 CP. It's a 6-inch consolidation instead of a 3-inch.
Excellent. Yeah. But it feels starting to feel very tricksy, this army now. You know what I mean? It's had a little bit of tricks, which is cool. So.
Cruel Bladesman is 1 CP for an extra pip of armor penetration in the fight phase.
Excellent. Nice. Making you stuff like AP2, AP3, even AP4 on the blades, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Fulgrim. Lucius, sorry.
Lucius, you keep getting them mixed up. Yeah.
Well, it can affect Fulgrim as well.
It's just a unit.
It's just any unit.
It doesn't say infantry, it's just a unit.
Yeah, so you can make Fulgrim -4, you can make Lucius -4, make Demon Princess -4.
Yep.
Really good.
We have 1 CP for Terrifying Spectacle, okay, and it's in your opponent's command phase. Each enemy unit within 6 inches of your unit must take a battle shock test and subtract 1 if that is below half strength, that unit. Okay. You're a bit like, do you use this on a demon prince that is with wings that absolutely went mental and done sort of an aura of battle shock around them and sort of thing, maybe to try and really disrupt the lines or whatever?
Yeah, and obviously it's -1 if they're below half.
Yeah.
If you've hit them with the Noise Marines, they're -1 as well, so they don't have to be less than half. That's why I mentioned with the Noise Marines, the strats to trigger Battle Shock there, which is cool, because that's every time to take a Battle Shock or the leadership, which will be this as well. So yeah, if you send something in, something big, Fulgrim, for example, he's in there, he can just disrupt everything he missed, for example.
Yeah.
And it's part of the command phase, so you can kind of go, well, I'm going to make Fulgrim fight first. You've got your poison rolls to do, and I'm going to make you take a battle shock.
Yeah.
So he's like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Because now I've got units that might be battle shocked. I'm trying to go and kill this Primarch. He's got fight first, and I can't spend strats on them.
Yeah, to power myself up. Yeah. So it's sort of a way of trying to defend yourself from the nearby units.
Exactly.
Cut down the weak is 2 CP, and your opponent's movement phase just after an enemy unit falls back.
Actually brutal, this strat.
One Emperor's Children unit from your army that is within 6 inch and would be eligible to declare a charge against the enemy unit if it were your charge phase Your unit can declare a charge. When doing so, you must select the enemy unit. You are effectively recharging the thing that has fallen back from you. How fucking cool is that?
Actually brutal.
It's like, it sort of breaks the sequence as well, doesn't it? It's like chasing them down, you know?
You don't even need to fall back. It's just if the unit moves, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
It's Emperor's Children unit, but not tanks.
Yes.
So your Maulifine can, Fulgrim can, infantry can, just not your Land Raiders or Rhinos, which is fine.
Yeah. But
or your Helldrake. Sorry, didn't mean to cut the Helldrake out. So yeah, 2 CP as we mentioned, but obviously like recharging back in. When it doesn't say you must select that unit as a target to charge, and it doesn't say you can't charge multiple units. Because what you could do, hear me out. They move a unit next to other units, and it's Fulgrim, and then he goes, you can't fall back unless you take a battle shock. He recharges into that unit that moved and hits other units at the same time. Because it doesn't say
it does say you can't pile around.
You have to charge that unit, but it doesn't say you can't select multiple units. You know? Is that crazy? Am I being wild? That unit that moved must be the target.
But it doesn't say you can't. It doesn't say the only.
It doesn't say
target.
you can't multi-charge.
Yeah, it doesn't
say the only.
You don't say you must select that enemy unit only as a target by choice. That feels like an oversight. It feels like the intention
Potentially.
It does feel like the intention is.
Hence FAQ.
Yeah.
You haven't had.
Yeah.
But then, so you move, Fulgrim goes in, absolutely murders you. You're like, oh my god, Fulgrim's there. I need to
run
get
away. Yeah.
Fulgrim in your command phase, the enemy command phase, that's when it triggers, goes, yeah, you can't fall back from me. And then if there's nothing in combat with him, something moves, he charges into it, just locks it all in.
Yeah.
Horrific. This one's Trixie.
Hits
like a brick. This is the hit like a brick, but with like tricks.
Yeah.
You know, and it like hits like a brick and it just doesn't leave you alone.
It's a pinning sort of one. Everything is there to pin you into to where you want them to keep them. You know
the army's already control.
Yeah.
This just makes it even worse.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
like it. Good detachment. We'll see some good. I think it'll see some good play.
Yeah.
The third one, because there are 6, rapid evisceration.
Okay, this is your transport detachment.
This is loaded with rhinos and land raiders, boys. We're going for a party. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because they've got mechanized murder, which I love that name of the rule. So good. Cool. Each time an Emperor's Children model for your enemy makes an attack, if it disembarks from a transport, reroll hits and wins of 1. They're already advancing and charging. They already hit like a brick. Let's make it even better.
Yeah.
But you have to pay 70 points per rhino. That's the other downside.
Yeah. Or also affects land raiders.
It does affect land raiders, yeah.
Terminators coming out of land raiders and YOLOing forward and causing hell. So it's really cool. I think this is the one though that like you'd have to lean into it so heavily. You'd be taking your infractors in rhinos
with scout. Don't forget. So like launching all 3 infractors, rhinos. That's 3. So we're talking like 190 for the unit of 10 with a character, another like 80 or something, and then the rhino another 70, like 250 odd point. 300 points maybe.
300 points, yeah. And I think you're doing like you're doing 3 rhinos in a land raider. You're doing 3 rhinos fully loaded, and you're doing a land raider, in my opinion.
Yeah, because the rhinos can't transport flawless.
No.
So you probably want to take flawless. You don't have to, obviously, but like if you are, you're taking a land raider with it. So then at least you got some like long range anti tank, which is nice. But yeah, think about this with like the tormentors, with like a cacophonist or a sorcerer or something like that. Now you're popping out, you're rerolling hits and wins of 1 with precision. At range. So your plasma, because obviously a unit of 10 can take 2 plasmas, 2 melters, because it's per 5 you could take a special weapon. So now you've got 4 plasma shots in rapid fire if you need it, 2 melters, loads of bolters, with reroll hits and wins of 1. You're just murdering characters out of units like for days, just for fun. Literally just for fun. It's great.
I think this is one of those where it also adds to the toughness of Emperor's Children, which is where they struggle. Like you're hiding your units in boxes effectively, and there's a way actually later on to give the vehicles like effectively a damage roll of 0 damage, and so you're making things a bit more resilient in this one. You know what I mean?
And everything's advancing and charging out of it, or advancing and shooting out of it. So even if you start in a rhino or whatever, and then get out 10-1, you're disembarking 3 inches, which is obviously adding to that 7-8 inch move a lot of the time. And then advancing, and then still shooting.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah,
and noise marines as well. Can noise marines get in a rhino? Yeah, a rhino can transport 2 units of noise marines no characters attached because the units are 6, so you can carry 12. It says any infantry excluding terminators or flawless.
So
even though noise
2
marines,
squads are getting out, and effectively
noise marines are on 40 mil bases, but you can put 12 of them in a rhino.
Very cool. It's effectively like
not flawless, but you can only take.
It's effectively like two shooting squads getting out and basically just going. Zzz, jumping back in. Right?
So now they're advancing as well because they can advance and shoot. Yep. So they're moving 9 from the vehicle with an advance. Now your short range doesn't matter.
Yep.
And you only hit some wounds of 1, and you've got fucking ignores cover or whatever, and you've got sustained from the Lord Cacophonist,
and ways to protect them because they can get back in. Things like that.
So anyway, Sublime Prescience.
Yes, this
Pre-science.
Pre-science.
Stone Age.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sublime Stone Age, which is 25 points.
And this is once per turn in your movement phase. Okay, if an Emperor's Children transport is in strategic reserves, you can bring it on and basically you apply 1 to the turn counter. So you can, if it's turn 1, it's turn 2 for strategic reserves. If it's, you get the idea. So you're bringing them on closer to the enemy.
Yeah, so because they clarified that if something like strat reserves counts as a turn early, that does include turn 2 to turn 1.
Yeah.
So that means you can strat reserve turn 1.
Yes.
Which is cool.
Very cool.
And obviously, like, not your enemy deployment zone, but anywhere else.
On the board edges, then we have Spearhead Striker. How many points is that?
Like Mario Striker. Remember that football game they made?
Yes, I do. Yes. It was shit.
Game.
No, it was shit. I'm sorry. It was.
Spearhead is 20 points.
Okay.
So this is an infantry model. Each time the bearer disembarks from a transport, to the end of the turn, reroll charge rolls. And no Overwatch. It's
flawless blades are getting in.
Yeah.
Without being overwatched.
Well, no. Because you can't attach a character to Flawless Blades to benefit from it.
Flawless Blades aren't benefiting from it.
That's the problem, Tom.
No!
That's the one thing I don't like about this book. That you can't put an exultant on a Flawless. It's okay, because that's what a lot of people do. And then you'll be like, no, because Lucius can't take enhancements. Cringe. So yeah, actually really, really good, obviously. Terminates from a Land Raider with a cacophonist or something. Noise Marines, if you really wanted to, so you can't get overwatched.
You're going to use it on Infractors.
It's on Lord Exalted Infractors, yeah. I don't know why I said Noise Marines. That's a stupid idea. Yeah. That's like saying put it on the floor list.
So
the Spearhead Striker is the simplest basically. Yeah. Reroll charge out of transport and ignore Overwatch, which is great. So
Accomplished Tactician, how many points is it, Mikey?
35. It's spinning.
Okay. Emperor's Children infantry model only. Once per turn, your opponent's shoot phase. Just after the enemy unit is shot, you can select one of your units and you can get back in a transport. You're like, I don't like the shooting that's coming towards me. I'm going to hide in my metal tin. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. And it's actually, I think the reason this one's so expensive is because the unit has to be within 6 of a transport. However, the unit that's getting back into the transport doesn't have to be the bearer's unit. It's a unit within 9 of the bearer.
You can shout to your mates over there and be like, you lads, you're getting shot at, get back in there, my son.
So if they're being targeted and your bearer is within 9 and they are within 6 of a transport, there's a few stipulations there, but it's essentially he has an aura ability of 9 to say a unit can get back into a transport if they're within 6.
Yes.
So that can affect Flawless Blades.
Because your friend can point at them.
Because your friend is telling Lucius and his pals to get back into the transport.
Lucius, just stop trying to chop everyone up, bro. Get back in for a minute and then you can go again. Yeah,
exactly. So that's, I understand why that's 35 points, because it's very good, because being able to get back into the transport, which means in your turn you're getting back out of the transport, getting that buff again, having a great time.
Yes.
So, and it's obviously not just the bearer. So now you put it on any unit and it can affect any unit within 9. So obviously any infantry model, which all of these are infantry model, by the way, we should say that none of these can go on a Demon Prince, because I keep forgetting the Demon Prince contain these. It's because the book's weird order. It feels like the Demon Prince is after everything. You know what I mean?
Is it sort of in that weird bridge section between the demons and the thing, isn't it? Yeah. Last one, enhancement is Heretic Adept, Emperor's Children infantry model only. Once per battle round, when you fail a saving throw for a vehicle, you can change the damage to 0.
Yeah, it's the Master Machines from Iron Hands, you know what I mean? It makes it damage 0 within 6 for 30 points.
Too much.
I think it's the same as the other one. It's very good, obviously, if someone like Black.
If someone's got a las cannon pointing at a Land Raider, you want to save 6 wounds.
It's damage 7, because obviously the most of them are +1 these days. Yeah, okay, fine. If an Avatar of Cain is throwing his spear at damage 8 because he's in the aspect host or whatever, you can ignore it. It's very good. But like,
I guess the bonus is because obviously you still get a pop at saving it normally. It's when you fail your saving throw.
it is. That's true. That's a very good point. It's
So
when you failed.
Then you go, I'm not bothered anyway.
Yeah.
I now have to spend it. You know what I mean? But actually, you've got a chance at it. So
Because you can go take a save, command point re-roll it, fail it again, and then use it if you really wanted to. It's just like it's a very good layer of protection. But obviously, it's once per battle round as well. It's not once per game, so it is pretty decent.
Yeah. Let's look at some stratagems, shall
On
we?
to the next part of the stratagems, Tom.
Okay, so there is another getting into a transport styles offer. It's called On to the Next with 1 CP. An Emperor's Children unit is able to embark in a transport
if it kills a unit in combat.
kills a unit in combat.
Yeah. So obviously, getting back in, the detachment relies on getting in and out of transports. That's just another way to do it. So that's in either turn, obviously, but obviously most of the time it's going to be your turn because you're in the fight phase.
Yep.
Great strat, 1 CP. So
the next one,
1
CP for Advance and Calm. Okay.
Advance and Calm? I don't think so.
Is that Advance and Claim? If you have a unit of Tormentors in a Rhino, they give their OC and stickiness to the Rhino.
Ew. Ew. Very thematic.
Yeah, I do. I like it. Yeah.
They're lusting on the Rhino.
Yeah, they're literally just like, oh, no, just...
It's what you're trying to say, Tom.
No, just... the noise that came out of me wasn't when I was trying to... They're like, oh, like...
Is that what the Tom... Is that what we're trying to say, Tom?
I was like saying or is in the word or. It's like, never mind.
Tom, I'm trying to be professional here. Look at my little fireplace that's been on. It's 12 hours long, that video. I mean, the fireplace. The logs need changing. Because they've dropped their logo. Yeah.
The OC amount and the sticky objectiveness stays. Okay? Yeah. That's the basic thing there.
They retain their sticky objective from the Rhino, which is, you know what, 1 CP. Yeah. I don't hate that strat.
Yes, it's fine.
Yeah.
Dynamic Breakthrough for 1 CP. Talk us through this one, Mikey. Because
I'm trying to make a joke out of that, but I'm just not going to bother. That ain't breakthrough when they've been sticking everywhere, is all you're trying to say. Yeah. Your movement phase, 1 Emperor's Children vehicle that has not been selected to move. Until the end of the phase, each time your unit makes a move, it can move through enemy models, excluding monsters and vehicles. When doing so, it can move in engagement range, etc., etc., and it can desperate escape for free without failing it. Mm-hmm. Essentially, it gives your vehicle fly.
Yes, yeah.
Unless
I'm calling it the road rage stratagem. It doesn't care what's in front of it; it's plowing through effectively, and you're going to get out of the way or not.
So that's pretty funny. Yep. Again, it allows your unit to, if it gets like trapped, wrapped, whatever, allows it to just ignore desperate escape tests because they're automatically passed. But yeah, it lets the Land Raider fly for a turn, which is pretty funny. Just can't fly over other things. It hovers.
Yes.
6 feet off the ground, but obviously tanks are bigger than 6.
Yeah.
I don't know where I'm going with that. You know what I mean.
Neither do I.
Ceaseless Onslaught. Ceaseless bad jokes.
Yeah.
Ceaseless bad references.
An Emperor's Children unit that got out from a transport that made a normal move this turn can charge. Wow. That gives you some serious distance.
Yeah. Yeah. So obviously you can move, you can be protected, and then you can pop out and then just like go for it.
Yeah. You know again, you're thinking again of the range of this army with advance and charge as well.
I think because the problem is because you can't. The only downside of this is you can't advance the transport.
It's a normal move, right?
You can only normal move. So a lot of the time you're going to think that like advancing the unit from the transport is probably going to be better.
Getting them out first, effectively. Yeah.
But obviously, if you're wrapped, you can use dynamic breakthrough for them to normal move, then get out, and then still charge. Yeah. That's the only real thing I can see it being used for a lot of the time.
Yeah.
So you have the transport fly, but it's a normal move because obviously they couldn't get out because there wasn't enough room. Let's say.
Yeah.
Because that's a good tactic if you've got a transport is to wrap it completely, so then they have to desperate breakout, not desperate escape, but the emergency disembark. So then they can die. What you can then do is have the transport fly over the unit that's wrapping you, and then because it made a normal move, you can use Ceaseless Onslaught later.
Yeah, effectively. Fly over them and then get that unit out to recharge back in to say, you're not wrapping me, I'm going to turn the tables on you. It's quite a good like a
and then the vehicle can then charge something else because he's got thrill seekers. Very cool. Can fall back and charge.
Yeah.
So that's the only time I can see that being used. It's obviously not bad to have in your pocket for whatever reason, but I don't know where else you use that. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can't think of any other excuse for it or reason for it. So
this one leans into that a little bit. Reactive disembarkation, which is 1 CP. Okay. Your opponent's shooting phase just after an unit selected its targets 1 Emperor's Children transport from your army that was selected. It can. The unit embarked can disembark. So basically, if your transport is being shot at, you can take that moment to get your unit out if you think maybe it's going to blow up, or if you just want to use it as a utility piece to stick it, get the unit out sticking behind some terrain or something like that. So
again, super situational, that stratagem. And I don't know how much use it has except for not having to do an emergency disembark if it's about to die.
Yeah.
Let's say you get shot and you're on 2 wounds and you're about to get shot by another, let's say, or something like that. It's kind of nice to spend 1 CP to not have to roll 11 dice and lose them on ones, but again, seems just
it's quite a forgetful one. It's one of those where you're a bit like, maybe looking back on a game, I could have used it at this
very specific time that it happened, because my unit didn't get one-shotted. It was on a couple of wounds and it probably wasn't going to survive.
Yeah.
I save a couple for 1 command point.
Yeah.
I don't know. Because at 11, you're on average, you're rolling 1-1. You know what I mean? So you're losing 1. You could roll 6 ones, obviously. That is how probability works in this game. But, like, yeah. Those two I'm not excited about.
The last one for 1 CP is Outflanking Strike. 1 or up to 2 transports within 9 inches of a board edge can be pulled off the board.
Just to clarify, it's 1 transport or 2 dedicated transports, which means 1 Land Raider or 2 Rhinos.
Yes, that's the stipulation.
That's the thing.
So basically, you got 2 Rhinos on either edge. You can pull them off and put them into strat reserve.
Yeah, which is quite cool.
Yeah, gives you. It's one of those. If you want to use the Rhino as in late game, it's still live as
uppy downy with a Land Raider is quite funny.
Yeah,
can't deep strike. No, obviously it comes on the board edge. But if you've got, like, for example, you go for second in a game.
Okay,
hear me out. Going second. You're in a Rhino. You're in a Land Raider, even, or a Rhino. It doesn't matter. Yeah. You got a character in a transport. You have Sublime Prescience, which is they obviously arrive a turn early. Your end of your opponent's turn 1, you take off the transport and then strategic reserve it back onto the board turn 1. Because they won't know that's happening. Yeah. Because it's a strat. Obviously, if you put the Rhino or whatever in reserve, then they could screen for it. But this is like I said, if your opponent makes a mistake, punish them really hard for it. You can then bring the transport back on in turn
counting
1.
a turn earlier as well if you use the
exactly. So turn 1 essentially, which is kind of, again,
you'd have to make the combo would be quite. You'd have to, everything, all the pieces would have to fall into place. So would it happen? I don't know.
I suppose with reactive disembarkation, you could disembark from the transport when it gets shot, and
still take the transport, but leave the guys.
Well, no, the rapid disembarkation is when you shot, you can disembark. You could heroic intervene then. I guess I was just thinking back to that strat. Because it looks like the unit can't charge like that. You could rapid ingress. You could take the transport off and then rapid ingress it back in. The rapid ingress transport gets shot. The unit jumps out. They charge the transport. You heroic intervene. That is the only time I can see that working.
But the jank is not.
It's such like if everything, again, like I said, if you're playing the game, your opponent's just watching while you play with your toys, because that's when a lot of things, when you see combos, sometimes it's kind of like if this and this happens, it's like this will just never happen, but it could if you're playing with your toys and they're not getting involved. They're just watching you play with your things. All of these situations are happening because it just so happens this is a pivot world because I'm playing and you're not.
Your opponent will just be looking at you going, like, you're playing chess by yourself at that point. I'm doing this, but then that will trigger this. They'll undo this, and then the opponent will look and go, what? What's just happened? Why is there a Rhino now over there? But there's I mean, it's a very weird, isn't it?
The thing is with this detachment, it's raw power. Mechanized murder is a great rule. Reroll hit and wounds of 1 is amazing. All of these strats, well, not all of them. Some of them feel very situational. In that situation, they're going to feel insane, but it's whether it comes up.
True.
So I like the detachment. I think I prefer the other 2. I might be just wrong. Raw power might win. You know what I mean?
And we have to remember this army is fast enough. So unless you've got an Emperor's Children Land Raider sat there already and a couple of Rhinos, and you're like, then this probably is a detachment you should try. I'm not sure initially it's the detachment you'd go to, in my opinion. Again, it's the reroll hit and wounds. You know what I mean? Of 1. That's what you're taking the detachment for.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, does raw power in this army win over every other detachment? Personally, because I haven't tried it, because obviously it's a whole new army. It's not an army that you can just be like, okay, I've got all half an army already. I've not tested it. Does raw power from Mechanized Murder win? I don't know. Personally, I don't think it does.
No.
But that's just purely reading the book and not testing it.
It's
kind of a fun time.
Yeah, give us a go. Let us know. But let's have a look at this detachment is the
demons and Emperor's Children synergized
Yes.
detachment. Okay.
Yes. So it's called Carnival of Excess, hence the fun time comment. So essentially, the way this detachment works is, before we get into the detachment rules, is that if you want to ally demons with your army, with Emperor's Children, you can take up to 500 points of Slaanesh demons with index chaos demons, okay? The way that works is the units that are allied get their data sheet rules, but they get no army rules.
Yep.
So you just take the units and then you do what they say on the piece of paper. This detachment is very similar to like the Grotmus detachments that we've just seen in over Christmas, where you actually take up to 1,000 points in Strike Force. Half your army. You can take up to 1,000 points in Strike Force, obviously Incursion 500, and in Onslaught it's 1,500. Of the demons that are in this book, the 5 units, the Hellbane, Keeper, Demoness, etc.
Yeah.
How they don't get thrill seekers, but they synergize better because strats and detachment abilities affect the demons as well as the Emperor's Children.
Yes.
So this is the only detachment that lets you take demons. If you don't take this detachment, you can't take the demons in this book. They do not.
Path of Excess doesn't exist in any of the other detachments.
However, I should have said this when we were talking about it. They all have the summoned keyword, which is new.
Right.
So I don't know if that's going to interact with something later, but all the demons have summoned, but there's no reference to summoned in this codex. So that makes me think in the Chaos Demons codex, Chaos Demons redone index. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
That might be their army rule.
They might have like a keyword that's summoned and then summoned does stuff. Anyway.
But the idea of this one is, if you're within 6 inches of a Legions of Excess and an Emperor's Children, equally, you get sustained hits.
Yeah.
That's effectively, if you're hanging around with some Demonettes or a Keeper of Secrets with your Terminators, you both give each other sustained hits.
Yeah. So you just have to have the two, a unit of each, a demon with an Emperor's Children, etc. Give each other a sustained. If you already have sustained, you get crit 5, which is obviously great.
Yeah.
It's very, very good. So the Legions of Excess model can't be a warlord, so you can't take a Keeper of Secrets as your warlord, etc. And but yeah, that's the main thing is you get sustained by keeping the units together. They kind of like egging each other on, which is quite cool.
So again, you're thinking
Carnival of fun time.
You're thinking flawless blades going in alongside some seekers
because they're fast.
Yeah. You're sort of sending them in as a to egg each other on.
Yeah.
Flawless blades are critting on 5s.
Yeah, which is obviously, and then they're also critting wounding on 3s.
Yeah.
Don't forget that bit.
Sorry, when you're on 3s, they're taking the challenge.
Exploding 5s to hit, always wounding on 3s. Yeah. Really good.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about this, just remember Demons of Slaanesh can't advance and charge. And obviously, if it talks about Emperor's Children, it's talking about Space Marines. If it's talking about Excess, it's talking about the demons.
Yes.
So just, again, I feel like I might be like teaching people to suck eggs, but it's just something to be aware of, that all these keywords overlap, but they're not the same.
Yes.
So we've got 4 enhancements. We've got for 10 points. We've got Empiric Suffusion.
Okay, and this is once
per funny way.
What is this? Once per battle round, 1 friendly Slaanesh unit, so anything. Okay, within 6 inches of the bearer, you got to 0 CP heroic intervention.
Yeah. So this can't be used again.
Again, it doesn't stipulate
Obviously,
it.
that's the big bit. But yeah, you can use a heroic intervention for free to anyone using it within 6, which is great. 10 points, again, auto take is still really good because you can, for example, choose Shalaxia Hellblade to heroic intervene for free.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Dark Blessings, how many points is this one, Mikey?
Dark Blessing is 15, which is wild.
It is. So this is an Emperor's Children infantry model, okay? You give it a 3+ invulnerable save for a battle round.
Once after it's selected the target until the end of the phase.
End of the phase. So once a phase for the entire game, 3+ invulnerable save. So
once a phase for the entire game. Once per phase.
But once a game.
Phase.
Yes.
Once a game.
Yeah. There we go. Words. This even 3. You're in combat. You're going to get whacked. You're going to give yourself 3+ invulnerable save.
Your tongue's thinking about the Dark Blessings again, all tongue tied into.
I know. I just love Dark Blessings. But that's like a
3 up in
demon. That's a Yeah.
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 You know what I mean? Yeah. That's great.
Yeah, really cool.
So he's dropping. Yeah. It's just horrific. Yeah, it's really good. So especially in like a mirror match, if they've got precision, it's like, okay, I got 3 up in one then.
Yep.
There's not many 3 up in ones left in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So, and it's for like, 15 points? Okay, all day. Thanks.
Yeah.
Now, I will say, I don't think this detachment's great, but if you are taking it, that's good.
You'd probably take that. Just it's survivability, and we say it's how important it is. And
I might be wrong. I might be wrong. I'm just guessing.
Possessed Blade, how many points is that?
Possessed is 25 points.
Yeah. So this is Emperor's Children model only.
Mhm.
Okay, you give yourself a +1 attack.
Which
Okay,
is great.
all the time.
That's just for free.
Always happening. Yeah. In addition, each time it is selected to fight, you can use this enhancement. If it does, you get add 1 to the damage characteristic of that weapon, and it has the devastating wounds and hazardous ability.
Yeah, so you're overcharging for +1 damage.
Yeah.
It's essentially a plasma pistol, right?
Yeah.
But with dead wounds.
And it's a can. You probably always will, but you can if you think it's needed. It's extra damage, devastating wounds, but you have to take hazardous check.
So yeah, so like on a demon prince, pretty funky.
Mm-hmm.
As we mentioned, exultant with like 6 attacks with damage 3.
Yeah,
which is cool. With a spear with lance, which is great. It's good. It's a good detachment.
Yeah,
a good enhancement. Sorry. So Warp Walker is 30 points.
Yes, but
very spendy.
But there's a reason for it. Yeah. Emperor's Children or Keeper of Secrets model only.
So that's again the synergy, right?
Yeah.
This is the only detachment I know that you can take an enhancement on the ally in inverted commas.
Each time the bearer's unit advances, do not make an advance roll. You auto add 6 inch to the move characteristic of the models in that. Each time you make a normal advance or fallback move, it can move through enemy models. When doing so, it can move within engagement range, but cannot end the move within engagement range.
Gives it fly.
They fly, yeah.
Gives it fly.
Yeah.
So a Keeper of Secrets with fly is very good.
Yeah.
So
and auto banting 6 effectively.
Yeah, which is cool.
Fast.
Very fast, yeah. Well, I have just realised, Tom, kind of low excess. Let's just take 1,000 points of Legions of Excess.
Mm-hmm.
But you can probably still ally Slaanesh demons. So you could take 500 points of Emperor's Children.
Yeah.
1,000 points of Legions of Excess
from this book.
And then another 500 points of Codex Chaos Demons. Index Chaos Demons, whatever. Don't know if that's good. Just thought of it just now.
So would you go full Grim for 385 points?
Yeah. One Infractor unit to Sticky.
Yeah. And then
Keeper of Secrets, Shalaxi, and then I suppose Shalaxi has the same name, so you can't take 2 because it's an epic hero. But you could take like 3 Keeper of Secrets.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know what it does.
There's stuff that's missing from the book as well, if you wanted to use that as your 500 points.
Yeah, your chariots.
Your mirrors, your chariots.
I've not thought about how that's going to work. Just thought of it just now. Thought it was quite funky. So, anyway, 6 stratagems.
Sustained by Agony is 1 CP. It's on the Emperor's Children unit in the fight phase.
Just after it's killed the unit.
Just after it's killed the unit. One model in that unit recovers 3 lost runes, or 3
one excess unit. So one demon unit nearby.
So you can heal back some of your wounds on your great demons. Or if it's demonettes, it says it is D3 +3.
Yeah, so Emperor's Children kill something, demons heal around them,
yeah,
which is cool. So
basically giving the lifeblood of that, let's say it's a guardsman squad, for example, you're just like they're absorbing
fun
it.
time.
Yeah, it's great.
The fun time is we slit them up.
What's going on with Ecstatic Slaughter for 1 CP?
I'll tell you. 1 CP, just after a Legion of a demon unit fights. I'm going to say demon. I mean Shalaxi, Keeper, etc. I'm not talking about Demon Prince or Fulgrim. So just after a demon unit destroys an enemy unit, and then you choose that unit and an Emperor's Children unit within 6. And then this is the fun one, is your Emperor's Children unit can declare a charge.
Love it.
If it does so, and it has already been selected to fight, you cannot fight again. But it does mean you can...
it's like a springboard for your Emperor's Children models, right? Yeah, you're effectively, like, they're helping them in, effectively, you know?
Like I mentioned earlier, if you took Fulgrim with this, for example... he can go in and kill something. Now he's out of combat. Legions of Excess unit, kill something, like let's say Keeper of Secrets.
Yep.
Fulgrim recharges back in, can't fight again, but then in your opponent's command phase you go, nothing can leave. And nothing can leave, nothing can leave without taking a battle shot test.
Yeah.
You know? So Static Slaughter for 1 CP, great stratagem. You know, just kill a unit and let another unit charge. It doesn't say it has to be the same unit charges, just charges. It
just says
anywhere.
Declare a charge.
Yeah, as long as you're within 6 of each other. Yeah. So obviously you're going to want to keep things within 6 of each other anyway, because obviously Demonic Empowerment is going to give Fulgrim crits on 5s with his weapons as well, which is obviously super good. So now, yeah, it feels like a monster mash, but it's like Fulgrim and then Keepers. You know, so it's not terrible. Again, I might be like way off. I might be like, actually, this is the best attachment in the book. But both of those are pretty good. Yeah. Heal your demons, and then force your Emperor's Children to charge twice or just get into combat. And let's say you failed the charge, your command point re-rolled it and failed it again.
You're still going, I have another chance.
There's actually a chance I can charge again for the third time, which is cool.
Again, placement for this will be quite crucial. If you've got to always everything works within 6 inches, so you don't want to leave yourself, I've randomly moved out of position. You're going to have to be quite clever at it, you know?
Yeah, exactly.
2 CP for Violent Crescendo. This is Slaanesh Beasts, Slaanesh Infantry, or Slaanesh Mounted.
In the fight phase,
In the fight phase, and it is consolidated 6 inches instead of 3.
Yeah, so obviously Slaanesh Infantry, that also affects Flawless Blades, etc.
Yeah.
So it affects Emperor's Children Infantry. This, because it's using Slaanesh, it affects everything in the book, not just one or the other. Obviously, it's like Feet Seekers, Fiends, and then any infantry.
Yeah, spawns and stuff like that.
Yeah, just obviously can't be used on Fulgrim or whatever.
Sycophantic Surge is 1 CP in your charge phase. 1 Demons, Legions of Excess unit. To the end of the phase, your unit is able to declare a charge and turn in which it advanced or fell back. It's advanced and charge.
Yeah. However, you do need one of the targets for the charge to be in combat with an Emperor's Children. So it's like a big caveat, but it's 1 CP for a keeper to get advance and charge as long as someone else has made a charge first.
Yeah.
So pretty good, to be honest, especially if you're taking the Warp Walker where you're auto-advancing 6. So I think the keeper's auto-advancing 20. Something makes a charge. You know, something like the Terminator's Deep Strike and get a reroll charge. The keeper can then charge with it.
Join them effectively. They can have fun time
Again,
together.
that's what I said. It's a kind of a fun time together. It's the synergizing together is very. It's got something you're going to be keeping an eye on, but it also makes the army feel very thematic. Where the demons and the Emperor's Children are kind of like. It feels like this is like the end game for Emperor's Children, where they're just working together with the demons.
They're about to fall into absolute insanity with the demons.
Yeah, exactly.
1 CP, Uncanny Reactions, and enemy shooting phase, it's -1 to hit. You basically give them -1 to hit.
Any Slaanesh units, obviously any unit in the book.
And then what's the last one for 2 CP?
So
Dark Apparitions.
Dark Apparitions. So any opponent's fight phase, you can pick up a Demonettes unit. Obviously, Demonettes have fight first. They're not a terrible unit in this, and you can heal them quite well with Sustained Agony. And then put them in Strat Reserve. If it arrives back on the battlefield in your next movement phase using the Deep Strike ability, which you should clarify, if it arrives in the next turn, it doesn't say it has to arrive in the next turn.
Stay up in the clouds,
Because a lot of uppy downy stratagems are it comes back.
Yeah.
So this isn't it comes back. It's if it comes back in your next movement phase using the Deep Strike ability, it can be set up 6 away rather than 9, as long as it's wholly within 9 of an Emperor's Children unit. So Deep Strike 6, near Emperor's Children, continue to charge. It's nice that there is a way to keep the Shadow of Chaos 6-inch Deep Strike and charge from the Chaos Demons index. The early stipulation is within 9 of Emperor's Children. So, and it's only Demonettes, which is a bit of a shame, especially because it's 2 command points.
Yeah, it's quite steep for actually. They're not really going to add much to. It's just if you need to move them desperately to a different side of the board for an objective reason, or or to get them out of dodge for some reason. It feels more of a.
It's fine.
It's a break glass in case of emergency sort of stratagem. You know what I mean?
If this was any demon unit, I'd be like, yes, 2 CP. I'd be like, that's pretty good. Yeah. You know, if it's like a Keeper of Secrets, so you Deep Strike is 6. But it's because it's just Demonette, so it's a bit like, feels a bit spenny.
Yeah.
You know?
So that's that one. Fine. It's the other one you can use with the demons. We go on to the 5th one, Coterie of the Conceited. This is your favourite.
This is my favourite.
This is very Slaanesh.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Is it good? Still not sure.
I don't think so, but you love it. And
it's cool.
Yeah, it's cool.
Okay.
Yeah. Go on, talk us
through it. The guy like flexing on everyone at the top, you know what I mean? Have a great time. So they have Pledges of the Dark Prince. So at the start of the battle round, if your warlord is on the battlefield, that's the only downside. Yeah. You take Fulgrim and he dies. GG.
Yeah.
You must pledge a number to Slaanesh representing how many units will be destroyed this battle round. And then obviously it's battle round, so it's both players' turns, which is great.
Yep.
At the end of the battle round, if the number of enemy units destroyed this battle round is greater than or equal, you gain a number of pack points equal to your pledge.
Yes.
So, for example, if you say 1 and kill 5, you do only still get 1.
Yep.
So you kind of can't cheese it. You can't just say 1 and then just kill as a unit. So you have to kind of like say what you're going to do.
So the table is quite interesting. Okay. So if you say you're going to kill 1 unit.
I was going to say, the problem is if you fail the pack, you say 3 and you only kill 2, you take D3 more wounds.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
So.
The packed points, so if you say you're going to get 1 and you manage it, you get each time a model in this unit makes an attack, you get a reroll hit wall of 1. Okay?
Yeah, it's cumulative, so it's every turn you add up how many you've got in total.
Yeah.
It's not like this battle round I did 7, so I've only got 7, next turn I've got none.
Yeah.
It just adds up as you go through the game.
When you get to the 3+, it's reroll hit rolls and wound rolls of 1, because again, cumulative. 5+, melee weapons get lethal and sustained hits. So again, all cumulative. 7+, you get critical hits on 5s.
Yeah. Isn't that so good?
Yeah, if you get to that point, if you get there, it's...
Depending on the faction you're playing against, if they've got loads of units, then you're just having literally the best time. You just go, I'm going to kill 3 units, so you got like, I don't know, like some Votan. They have loads of units because they're so cheap, you know. Admech, they've got loads of units because they're so cheap. You just be like, I'm going to kill 4 units, and you probably kill 7, and they've still got another 20. It's like, yeah, cool, I've got fucking lethal and sustained and rerolling hits with the 1.
Yeah.
It's the stackability of it. So,
and I think like for me, like the sweet spot is if you can get to that 3 as quick as possible, reroll hits and wound rolls of 1, everything else gets a bit easier.
Because as we said, like mechanized murder, which has that from getting out of transport, is really good.
Yeah.
Now this just has it as well as everything else.
But you just have to make sure you play it right so that you don't over-egg it.
Yeah.
But you also don't, you've got to kill everything you want to get into, right?
Yeah. So the problem with it is there's not much long range shooting. Yep. So you're relying on noise marines and land raiders turn 1 to try and get your kills. Noise marines, even then, they're only 18-inch shooting. Obviously advantage shoot, but still. And land raiders can advantage shoot as well, which is obviously funny.
But you also don't want to be like, you know that people are going to give you chaff to start with, effectively, in turn 1, but you don't want to be sending stuff in feeling like you have to kill the chaff, leaving them open, because you'll die.
To make you play weird to kill units.
Just to get your unit kills.
Yeah, and then obviously the fact is you have to have your warlord on the battlefield. If you take Fulgrim, he has to be your warlord. So if they take Fulgrim out early, the detachment, you can't get any more pact. So you still benefit from pact. But the problem is you can't gain any more outside of a single strap. Yeah. So yeah, we've got 4 enhancements, pledges of the fill in the blank. We've got eternal servitude first, which is 15 points.
Yes. Okay. So basically, this is you can bring your character back
on D6 wounds.
On D6 wounds, as long as you pass a leadership test.
Yeah. So there's no. Yeah, so it's not normally it's like a 3-up or a 4-up. It's just pass a leadership, which is great.
Yeah.
Really, really good. Enhancement if you're playing.
Use it on a Lord, Exultant, and he can pop back up and live a little longer, fight a bit more. You know what I mean?
If you are taking Pledge of the Dark Prince and you don't have Fulgrim for whatever reason, it's kind of nice to have Eternal Servitude on him, because if he does die, at least he gets back up for free.
Yeah,
and you're not losing your pact ability.
Yeah.
So yeah, good enhancement, and it's it's what 15 points.
Yeah,
getting back for just a leadership,
and also you're getting him up at the end of the phase as well, which then means that he's not going to get swung at again. If that makes sense, if you're in combat, you get him up, right? Okay, now I get him to react a bit and get him out of dodge.
The problem is most smart players will go, okay, I'll shoot him, and then he gets back up, and then I'll charge him. He's dead. Yeah, but still, he's good. He's good.
Pledge of the Dark Glory. How much is that?
This one, for some reason, and I wrote it down, but I'm just going to do a final check. Because, Tom, guess how many points improve the leadership and OC is?
I mean, it's going to be 25, 30?
That's high. It's 30 points. It should be 10.
You think so?
Plus 1 leadership and plus 1 OC?
On one
model?
It's not, well, the bear is... Oh, yeah, it's not on the unit. I read...
Oh, no, it's models of the unit. So, they all get plus 1.
They all get plus 1, yeah.
Okay, so refractors get plus 1 OC and a better leadership. 30 points.
Yeah, that's steep. Yeah, okay, fair enough.
If it's like 15, maybe 20, fine. That feels so expensive. It's the most expensive one in the attachment. That doesn't feel like a 30-point enhancement. What did we have on the previous page for 30 points? We had Keeper of Secrets adding 6 to their move and flying.
Fair. Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay,
feels expensive. It feels really expensive.
And you just sort of see objective control improve, and you go, okay, but fair enough. Yeah.
I suppose obviously you can put it on like
Terminators.
Yeah.
If you wanted to muscle in the middle of the board a bit longer, maybe.
For the OC2.
Yeah. Fair. Pledge of Mortal Pain. What's going on there? This one's
15 points.
Yeah.
So the start shooting phase selects one unit within 12 inches and visible. The unit takes a leadership test subtracting 2 from result. If they fail, they take 3 mortals.
I'm not excited by that.
Stack that with noise marines.
Oh, it's in with the blast masters and stuff like that.
So once they take a damage,
then they get
-1 from any test.
Yeah, so basically you're forcing a leadership test then. When the noise marines can't force a leadership test, but you're forcing one on them.
How long does the noise marine stack for? Until the start of your next shooting phase. Yeah, okay. So they're -1. Now you're taking mortal pain to make them -3 leadership.
Okay.
And then they're taking 3 more wins.
All right.
Everything's pretty good.
Yeah. Think they'll be used?
I mean, if you're using the detachment for 15 points, probably.
Okay, yeah. Fair, yeah.
So,
Right.
and it's any model, so you can put it on Demon Prince and have him look around a corner, lone operative and do it and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Or you can put it on the Law Cacophony, as I said, and do stuff. I think that's pretty good, to be honest, because you're forcing battle shot tests, which is great. Oh, wait, it's at the start of your shooting phase. But then it's your turn. I don't know if you can use that with the Nice Marines. Because it's your turn.
Yeah, he says till the start of your next shooting phase.
Yeah. And this is at the start of the shooting phase.
So I would say that's sequentially afterwards, right?
It's your turn, you decide the order of rules at the same time. They're both at the same time. Don't know. 3 mortal wounds, I like it.
Pledge of Unholy Fortune.
Which is 25 points.
So Emperor's Children model only. Once per turn, just after making a hit, wound, or damage, or saving throw for a model in the bearer's unit. If the bearer is not battle shocked, it can use this enhancement. If it does, treat the result as an unmodified roll of 6.
Yeah, cool. So an auto pass a save, which is nice. It's not great on a hit on a wound roll.
Unless you've got crits.
Yeah, I suppose. Like,
And so actually it works with the, if you packed points trigger.
With the lethal sustain, but it's only 1 dice and it's once per turn. Yeah. It's great on the saving throw.
But you need to keep someone alive, yeah. All right, let's have a look at stratagems. Protection of the Dark Prince is 1 CP. Till the end of the phase, models in your unit have a fill no pain of 6+, and if it's a mortal, it's fill no pain of 4+.
Yeah, so 1 CP, this is your defensive strat, you know what I mean? So it's obviously a 4+ against mortal wounds, which is obviously great. If you're against like Stern Guard or something like that, they obviously throw out a bunch of mortal wounds. That's cool. And obviously just a flat 6 up is not great, but it's nice to have.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1 CP. All of these are 1 CP, which is nice. So
Unshakable Opponents is in your command phase, an Emperor's Children unit, and you get to ignore all modifiers on the hit and the wound roll till the end of the turn.
Yeah, for ballistic skill and weapon skill, which is cool.
So it's shooting and combat. So if you're worried you've got a -1 on a unit, you can just ignore that with Noise Marines, for example. You want to shoot at something and you'd be like, actually, I am still hitting you on 3s.
That's cool. And obviously, like, Fulgrim can use this if he's minus to hit, for example. Because I don't think he has access to like reroll 1s to hit. So if he does roll a 1, he's a bit buggered. If you're making him 3s to hit, that's a bit annoying.
Yeah.
Good strat.
Would Fulgrim not benefit from the pack stuff as well? Reroll hit roll and 1 and reroll wound roll of 1. So this would actually.
That's true.
So actually,
so outside of this attachment, he can't get reroll. So now he's hitting on 2s, rerolling.
Yeah.
And then -1 would be crucial because obviously they're missing on 2s.
Like I said, the other thing is keeping him alive as the warlord, right? So you'd be a bit like, it's like he would get even more choppy, but you risk him dying, right? Effectively. So
he just becomes brutal in this way, I think.
Yeah. Embrace the Pain is also 1 CP. It's an Emperor's Children infantry unit. Till the end of the phase, each time an enemy model with engagement range of your unit selects the target, it must select your unit as the target at a target. So it's effectively saying, you will fight me.
This is like old Angel Sacrifice from Blood Angels, if people have played that from last edition. Yeah, so just
that's really powerful, actually, because you are controlling your opponent, which you can't put a value on that, right?
So because it says... it is model within engagement range, so it's not quite as strong because if it was like unit engagement range, you can like charge like one end of the unit and then wrap with everything else and you can't move, and then only that model in the end can fight. But obviously this is model in engagement range. So what you can essentially do is use Emperor's Children infantry to protect something else quite well. Let's say you multi-charge with Fulgrim and Flawless Blades for whatever reason you would. You can then use the Flawless Blades as the meat shield for Fulgrim, because now they can't hit Fulgrim.
Yeah.
If they survive whatever, they got fight first, etc. So so this is your tricksy defensive. You know what I mean? You've got like the Feel No Pain, which is nice, and then you've got like you have to fight me before you fight the big thing that's going to kill you.
Or a squad of 5 infractors. You just send them in cheap. Go hit me. Thank you very much. I'm not bothered if I die. My other guys are going to stay fine. You know.
This could be like one guy on his own, but he manages to get engagement range of loads of models in their unit, so they all have to hit like one dude with a bolter. Instead of something they actually want to hit. You know.
Martial Perfection is 1 CP as well. In fact, all of them in this detachment are 1 CP. One Emperor's Children unit in the fight phase that has not been selected to fight until the end of the phase. Each time your model in the unit makes attacks, you can reroll the hit roll. It's reroll hits.
It's cool. Yeah, it's 1 CP reroll is a great. Not much to say, right? You might have sustained, you might have lethal. Suddenly brutal.
Yeah, it is.
So this is the one where it's like, if you can play the detachment rule really well, actually horrific.
Yes.
It's just not easy. Unless you make every charge turn 1 and just kill everything. But
You're shooting. Unbound Arrogance. How much? It's 1 CP. I was about to say, how much is that? Unbound Arrogance in your shooting phase or the fight phase, just after an Emperor's Children unit from destroys an enemy unit. then you get to add one extra one to your pact for this turn, effectively.
So your pact points buffed, but you're going to use it once per battle round, but you're essentially triggering your pact points early. So if you say, I'm going to kill 3, you manage to kill 3, so in that turn, you can give yourself 1.
Yeah.
Let's say it's turn 1. Now you're re-rolling hit rolls in the fight phase, if it's a shooting phase or whatever, and then obviously when you come to it, you've got 4. So it's just, if your warlord dies, this is the only way you can increase it, but at least if your warlord's dead, you can still manipulate it, which is kind of nice, you know what I mean? So you'll be able to get one every turn, probably.
You have to kill someone to do it.
Just kill a unit.
Yep.
What's quite funny is if you kill a unit with like infractors or the tormentors, you're going to gain a CP and they're going to spend it on this to give yourself a pact point.
Freebie,
because they gain a CP every time they kill a unit.
Yeah.
Well, like obviously once per battle round, but still.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a really good one. Again, it allows you to, let's say, shoot a unit. Turn 1, kill it, spend it. Now turn 1, all your army gets real ones to hit because obviously you're triggering that early. Which is cool. So that's a really good strat for this detachment. So
Armor of Abhorrence is also 1 CP. It is in the shooting or the fight phase, and it's -1 AP.
It's Armor of Contempt.
Armor of Contempt, yeah.
Yeah. So it's I said there was no Armor of Contempt. I just realised there is one here. So that will only work against a single attack, not a phase, which is affected by the balanced data slate. But that's instead of your -1 to it, it's got the -1 AP.
Yeah.
So they're the 6 strats. I like this detachment. It's like one of those. It's like a snowball effect.
Yeah, you're going to start off slow. You're going to have to kill stuff early on, and it will pay dividends.
You're going to have to take shooting units to be able to trigger your pact early to get you, because you want, like, in an ideal world, you want to say, I'm going to kill 2 units turn 1, trigger the strat, and then kill 2 units in here on pact 3, so then you're getting reroll hits and wounds turn 2, or like from that point on, because obviously this is it's battle round, so obviously like that was just checking, because obviously turn 1, battle round 1, you'd have nothing, then battle round 2 you reroll hits and wounds. But this is in the strat is instantly increase the pact points, so obviously then it's like if you kill someone in a phase,
it will trigger it for the next combat or the next thing or whatever.
Well, no, it's if you trigger it, let's say you kill someone in the first shooting attack, then you trigger your strat, then everything else in that same phase will get reroll ones to hit, for example.
The next unit you choose will benefit from it effectively.
Yeah. So yeah, great stratagem, fun detachment, snowball, win more slowly than all at once type detachment though. That's the other problem. So, and the stipulation of if you take Fulgrim, he's your path leader. If he dies, then you can only gain one per bar round, so you get max 5.
Yeah.
So
the last one is Slaanesh's Chosen, and this is your character buffing.
Yeah, this one's really fun.
Yeah.
This one's really fun.
So Emperor's Children character units from your army can ignore any and all modifiers to their move, all modifiers for advance and charge rolls.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that is a case of the characters are the choppiest thing and you will not slow me down. Thank you very much.
Yeah, exactly. So that on its own, before you read any more, isn't a great detachment ability, because obviously there's loads of... we just talked about how good the sorcerer is for triggering -2 move and charge.
Yeah.
Now you ignore it.
Yeah, and it's the units that they're attaching to as well, right? That they are benefiting. So if you're going to take 3 people, it's really cool. Yeah. Right. At the start of the battle, your warlord... At the start of the battle, your warlord unit is your army's favoured champion. Okay, the first time in each player's turn that an Emperor's Children character unit from your army destroys an enemy unit after resolving all of its attacks, that character unit becomes your army's new favourite champion, replacing the old one.
This is Teacher's Pet detachment. That's what it is.
Yes. Yeah. Each time a modelling your army's favourite champion makes an attack, you can re-roll the wound roll. So, for context, you have a character that goes in and kills something. He's favoured. He's re-rolling wound rolls. Yeah. Then somebody else goes in and kills a unit. Let's say it's another Lord Exalted, yeah? He then becomes favoured. He continues to re-roll wound rolls and takes it from the other person, yes?
Exactly.
And the process repeats until you've run out of characters, yeah?
Yeah. So this is essentially just like, you can just pass around re-rolling wounds everywhere. Because obviously, as we mentioned, Fulgrim is usually the warlord, because you play Emperor's Children, why you're not taking Fulgrim, but I get it. I don't always take Mortari, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like, yeah, so you're like re-rolling wounds with him initially, and then if you can trigger, like, let's say like in shooting, maybe you like pip up a wound and kill something, that unit is now re-rolling wounds instead, which is quite cool. So yeah, so you're gonna be able to like bounce around this re-rolling wounds to characters. The only downside is one character's re-rolling wounds, and then you only gain it once you kill another unit without re-roll wounds.
Yeah.
So, but the next time they fight or whatever, then they are.
Yeah.
So
it's one of those where if a character can hold on to it for long enough, it will pay for that character to have it, because he'll then be continually to fight with reroll wounds. For example, let's take a Lord Exalted. If another character ends up killing something, taking it from it, it'll actually it'll disrupt the flow sometimes a little bit, and you'll be like, oh no, I need it. You know what I mean? So actually, you want to sort of like,
you got to be careful.
You got to target who's killing stuff, if that makes sense. And you need,
because and instantly what I think about is this one is like a Lord Cacophonist with Terminators. Because obviously because he gives sustained hits in the shooting to the Terminators, they're likely to kill something in shooting. Now that won't trigger their reroll charge ability, because obviously if they kill a unit, they've targeted the same unit, they only get reroll charge against that unit. But then they're rerolling wounds.
Yeah.
On the flip side, you know what I mean? Because they killed it in shooting.
Yeah, so they could technically shoot something else and charge elsewhere, they just won't get reroll charge.
They'll get reroll wounds instead.
Yeah.
So yeah, a funny one.
Yeah, it feels like it's a little bit out of sequence, if that makes any sense.
It's teacher's pet, you know what I mean? Because it's like, no, I'm the cool one, I killed the unit. No, I did, you know? So it seems weird.
They're basically stealing a buff from each other. That's basically what they're doing, right?
Yeah, but again, the whole thing is all the time, all the characters are ignoring moving charge modifiers, which is strong.
In their units as well, which is fantastic. So let's look at some enhancements, which is eager to prove.
This is 10 points.
Okay, Emperor's Children model, you can reroll the charges made for that bearer's unit.
Bang that on a Lord Cacophonist, you're ignoring your Terminator problem.
Yeah.
There you go.
Reroll charges. While the bearer's unit in your army's favourite champion, add 2 inch to the move characteristics of models in that unit. So if the Lord Cacophonist is the favoured champion with the Terminators, they're not moving 6, they're moving 8.
And advancing.
And charging.
And reroll charges.
Yeah.
Do you remember when I said that other one was 30 points on the extra line? This one's 10. Do you understand why I was confused? Reroll charge really for 10 points is amazing. Now you're getting +2 move.
Yeah.
So that's just really, really good. So,
repulsed by weakness.
Repulsed by weakness is 25 points. So a little bit more expensive than the previous one that is an auto take.
Okay, so this is a model only. Each time an enemy unit within engagement range falls back, models must take a desperate escape test, and if they do, it's -1 to the leadership. -1 to the desperate escape test.
If they are the favoured champion.
If they are, yes.
So a lot of stipulations, not monsters, forces desperate escape, and you're -1 if it's a favoured champion. So a fun one.
Yeah. Proud and Vainglorious.
Proud and 20, so 20 points.
You can re-roll battle shock tests and leadership tests for the bearer's unit, and if the bearer's unit in your army is the favoured champion, add 1 to objective characteristics.
We should just call it teacher's pet, not favoured champion.
Yeah, it's easier words, isn't it? So
if it's teacher's pet, you get +1 AC.
Yes.
So that one is 20 points. The other one, the eager to prove, is still 10. Just want to remind you that the best enhancement is the cheapest one.
That's easily still the best at the moment.
You know? A +1 OC is not crazy, you know? But re-rolling battle shocks for 20 points seems a bit poo.
Yeah.
But 10 points for re-rolling charges and +2 move if it triggers, if your teacher's pet.
Yeah. No, 100%. Slayer of Champions, how much is that?
So Slayer of Champions is 15 points. Again, I feel like these points might be wrong.
We'll see. Emperor's Children model, bearer's melee weapons have precision, and each time you make an attack against a character, you improve the strength and AP by 1.
Yeah, so a Lord Exultant. You're not taking that on a Cacophonist or a Sorcerer.
He's there. If he's in combat with a captain, for example, he wants to take him out, he's getting an extra strength.
Or a Demon Prince, Tom. Forgot about that. Precision or Demon Prince.
We should just put, there should just be an asterisk the entire video that just says, Demon Prince. Yeah.
And that's going to be the first line of the description.
Yeah.
So eager to prove. Eager to take this enhancement.
Yeah.
Eager to save 10 points.
It's very cool. Let's look at the last 6
detachments.
All 1 CP. Okay. Devoted Duelist is in the fight phase. One or more Emperor's Children character units that have not been selected to fight, they get sustained hits 1.
Yeah. So in it's just character units exclusively.
Yeah.
So getting sustained is great. So 1 CP is a great one. Obviously in the other one you get sustained in anything.
Yeah.
This is only character units, but still. Those character units are probably rerolling wounds.
This next one is Beautiful Death, and this is effectively a fight on death 1. So until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit is destroyed, if that model has not fought in the phase, roll a d6, adding 1 to the result if it's the favoured teacher's pet unit, then on a 4+, basically gets a fight before they're removed from play. But it would be a 3+.
Would be a 3+
if it's the teacher's pet unit.
Yeah. So, and it's only character unit. So again, it's 1 CP, but it's limited which unit. So like, that's the thing with this detachment is like, it's kind of like you get better if it's the teacher's pet. But like, as we saw with Mercurial House, the first one, you get sustained on any unit for 1 CP, and then you fight on death automatically for 2 CP on any unit.
Yeah.
You know,
There's
so
no
it's like
caveats, yeah.
cheaper, slightly different, you know? It just functions slightly differently, this one. So
and also you have to be careful that you didn't accidentally kill something else over there that would then lose your favourite.
Yeah.
And then you'd be like, I can't do it.
I'm fighting on death on 4s instead.
Yeah.
Super annoying.
Heightened jealousy, again 1 CP. It's in the shooting phase or the fight phase, just after somebody has become your army's teacher's pet. I was about to say favourite champion, teacher's pet. Then until the end of the phase, each time a model in an Emperor's Children character unit from your army is not your army's favourite champion makes an attack, add 1 to the strength. He's angry that he's had favourite champion taken from him.
But this is every character unit. It's in the phase each time a model in an Emperor's Children's character unit.
So all of the characters are annoyed that they're not the favoured champion, so they've got a bit stronger.
So, so like you go, okay, I accidentally killed a unit in shooting.
Yeah.
So Fulgrim's no longer favoured. The Lord Cacophonist is with his Terminators. So they get +2 move on reroll charges. But then Fulgrim's +1 strength. So it's like strength 9 or strength 15.
Yeah, but the only thing is that would have to. The only thing is it's phase locked though, so like it would work unless you want to just shooting to be better strength.
Oh, until the end of the phase, yes, of course.
It's in the fight phase. If somebody at the start of the fight phase,
my apologies,
takes the favourite champion from Fulgrim, and he's not fought yet, for example,
he gets +1 strength.
+1 strength. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you're right. It's just interesting that it's like every unit.
Yeah.
It's weird. Anyway, Diabolical Majesty. Your shooting phase or fight phase, just after an Emperor's Children character unit becomes favoured, so a similar stipulation. You choose that Emperor's Children unit, and then every unit becomes battle shock. Every unit within 6 takes a battle shock test -1.
Yeah.
So it's a little disruptor thing.
Yeah.
You know, Fulgrim killed something in shooting.
It's a 6-inch battle shock test.
It's fine.
Yeah.
It's fine, yeah.
Refusal to be outdone is a CP. It's an Emperor's Children character unit. You're getting the gist of this. Select an enemy unit with an engagement range of 1 or more units until the end of the phase. Each time your unit declares a charge, if that enemy unit is one of the targets of that charge, you get +2 to charge.
Yeah, so if you're charging multiple units, then you get +2, which is cool. Obviously, as you mentioned, like Terminators reroll charges. They reroll charges if they shoot from deep strike, etc. They've got a high chance of getting into combat. Now let something else get +2 charge, which is nice. Yep. Or they get +2 charge with reroll, you know what I mean? You're trying to get Fulgrim in, let's be honest, that's what the entire book's about. Get Fulgrim in combat and kill shit. That's like a nice little like buff to give him +2 charge or something similar.
Yeah.
So,
Vengeful Surge is, the keys in the name, it is a surge move for 1 Emperor's Children character unit that was selected as the target of 1 or more attacks this phase.
So it was D6 towards the unit that shot him, or the nearest or the nearest or the one that shot him.
Close ball to the closest enemy unit, so it's the closest enemy unit. So if you're shot from far away, you can surge towards the closest enemy unit, whoever it is.
Yeah, and then if you are the favoured, the teacher's pet, you reroll the surge move.
Yeah,
which is nice. Not my favourite.
No, they all feel like they are 1 CP stratagems. There's nothing out fantastic there, is there? But the entire detachment is a bit. I can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to show the characters off as being the best part of the Slaanesh army, and they're very cool. But the only thing is, you don't really have too much choice of characters. You've got a Lord, a Demon Prince, and a Lord. It
affects Lucius. It affects Fulgrim, which is fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, like overall as a detachment, the other ones, I'm more excited about the previous one, the Coterie of Conceited. You know what I mean? And even that one, that seems a bit not situational, but hard. You know what I mean? This one feels even harder to utilise. It's just like, sometimes you get reroll wounds and the strats are fine.
I think if we look at the detachments, I think you're going to see the first one, which is effectively the Codex style one, which is Mercurial Host.
Yeah.
I think you might see Peerless Blades just for somebody who wants an easy life of knowing they've got lethal hits or sustained hits. If that makes any sense to make that. But I don't know if that's competitive good. I think you'll still see it. And I think you'll see the transport one.
Yeah, I agree. I think you'll see the pledging one.
Do you still think that you think this is the table one?
I don't think it's bad.
No?
I think all the strats are good.
Yeah.
You've got like the ASC, but the feel no pain. You've got the triggering early pact, so you can get you're at 4, you can trigger it to 5 quite easily.
Yeah. Just depends, I guess, if people think Fulgrim's an auto include and if he gets shut down, right? I guess that's the...
but you don't want to lose Fulgrim, right?
No.
But like you say, the transport one feels really good. The flawless, the
Peerless Blades.
Peerless Blade. Yeah. The one with the flawless blade on the second one we looked at.
Yeah, Pierce Spearman's Blade. Yeah.
That looks really good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the Mercurial House looks really good as well.
I think we'll see what the armies look like, and then it will dictate what detachment people pick. I think you're going to see 2,000 points of Emperor's Children with a Demon Prince or two maybe in there. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I think you're going to see what looks like genuine Emperor's Children armies on the till. I don't think you're going to see many demons with this. So
no, because I don't think Carnival Excess is it that good? It seems a bit funky.
It's the playing within the 6 inches. If you've got a good player who can master that, they're going to buff each other so much, right?
The problem is you're losing is like advance and charge on the demon side.
Yep.
But then you've got
with the Emperor's
and
Children.
they're not that survivable. So if they are within 6 and the Emperor's Children want to go do stuff, you just kill all the demons and they don't get it.
If you're the opponent, you target
so the CC's to kill. Yeah. So obviously, if it's like a Keeper of Secrets, you kill the other things next to it.
Yeah.
So, however, Tom, that is the 6 detachments.
It is,
and that is all of the information. Now, I think what we're planning on with this type of Codex review is we kind of like build a list that we like, with a detachment that we both like. However, we don't know if these are the right points. We don't know if there's an FAQ. So we felt like that might be a bit silly for this one.
Yep.
But I would build a list in the Dark Prince one, the Corteo Conceited. I'd be like, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
I'm pledging. I'm dark pacting every turn. I'm pledging to the Dark Prince, and you would have probably gone for Mercurial House.
Yeah, I think so. I'd have gone for some flawless blades.
Who isn't?
And I'd probably gone for Lucius and some. I'd have probably stuck a Demon Prince with wings in there as an atom bomb to kick everything off. I think there's some cool play with it. So. Yeah,
definitely. So the army. I think the problem is if we both did the list as well, I think they look the same because there's that many units.
Yeah.
So it's good. Yeah. The downside to the Emperor's Children book is it's the same problem that Worldies are having, same problem that Leagues of Votan are having. There's not that many units in this book.
They're not fleshed out yet, the actual armies. They're sort of like, they're like starter armies at the moment, if that makes any sense. Here's everything you need to make a basic army. We'll give you the rest later.
Yeah. So it feels like there's not a great deal. However, that said, the Emperor's Children, not Legions of Excess units in this book, all feel really cool.
They've got play. Everything has play. There's nothing that would leave at the sidelines.
Yeah. Noise Marines look really cool.
Blast Masters, yes.
Yeah. The Infractors and Tormentors, the battle line units are really cool. Yeah. Lucius with Flawless Blades is awesome, and Fulgreen looks like a boss.
Yeah.
And then Terminators look good. That's it. That's there's no other unit in the book. You know what I mean? There is, but like there's no other unit that's like exciting because everything's just like a Rhino, a Land Raider, a Helldrake.
Take a Mauler-Fiend if you want a Mauler-Fiend. We know what a Mauler-Fiend does, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That sort of thing.
And even then, I'm not that excited about using one. They're just kind of cheap.
Yeah.
130 points for a big Walker. So.
Yeah, and again, you probably will see a Land Raider or two as well with some Terminators in. You know, there's playing everything off Flawless Blades. You know, so you get it's a cool book. It's a good start and kick off for Emperor's Children. You will see them at tournaments and on tables and stuff like that. And I'm excited to see what form they take.
And the nice thing is with this box is the fact that it comes with the Exultant. It comes with 12 Noise Marines, and it comes with potentially, watch my video, 20 Infractors or Tormentors. So you get a lot of what you need in the box, which is actually quite nice. It's not like here's a little bit of something. Oh, good.
Yeah, I'll grab it a sec.
It's not like here's a little bit of something like we saw like the Age of Sigmar with like the Git mobs or the Krieg one, which is like super specialized. It's like the core of an army. Because I do think you'll see 10, 20 battle line and then Noise Marines, and then you're going to need Exultants.
Yep.
So there we go. That was Codex Corner. Thank you so much for joining us. If you enjoyed this, then as I mentioned earlier, I'm actually going to be live on Monday, 7 p.m. I'm live every single Monday, Wednesday and Friday, talking about Emperor's Children, maybe ranking the detachments or something. That might be quite cool.
That'd be cool. Tier list, baby.
So if you got any questions, come and have a scran, grab some food, pull up a pew, do all the things, and come hang out on the streams, which will be really fun. And I will have more Emperor's Children videos. I've obviously got one that's like talking about how there's more models in this box. Like I said, there might be 20 models in this box, or maybe there's more. And then obviously we're going to be doing a painting video as well. So if you like those, please subscribe so you don't miss it, and it'll be in your sub box if YouTube works, which usually doesn't. If you enjoyed the video, like it, let me know. And if you made it this far, you are an Emperor's Children fan. There's going to be more Emperor's Children content coming afterwards. I'm hopefully going to do a battle report with them.
Oh, baby. That'll be nice.
You know, maybe I might have to proxy like fulgrim for like Magnus or something, but I feel like that might be quite fun to try out in the book. And and yeah, we're going to be doing loads of stuff. So yeah, let me know what you liked about the video. If you liked or hated the video, let us know why down in the comments. If you can't think of anything, just leave an emoji. Leave a eggplant. Secret message for the end. Tell me about how Tom loves his dark blessings, you know?
My dark blessings are sexy.
Thanks so much for watching, guys, and hopefully we'll catch you in the next one. Thanks to our members. Bye.
See you later.